Um, I wanted to talk today to all of you because you were all directly involved in getting kicked out by the college Democrats. And I wanted to give you guys to have a chance to give your story, to give your take on what happened, and just to ask you some simple questions about it. One of the things that I kept hearing from people on the Hasan side of things is that this was like an official DGG kind of outing. Um, I guess first things first, let's introduce yourselves, tell people who you are, what you do, and why you were there. And we'll start with North, okay?
Hey, I'm North. I do some political content online, mostly Twitter stuff. I'm trying to do more YouTube stuff. Do a little bit of live streaming. Never Trump conservative, I guess. Although I'm sort of reevaluating my relationship with the Republican Party, so we'll see about that.
Were you at the event?
Yeah, I was at the event. I was known as the guy in the Hawaiian shirt that was apparently there to threaten to kill Hassan Piker, according to the
Jesus.
office.
To
So,
threaten to kill
yeah.
him? Is that why you were there?
That's what they. Apparently, that's why I was here, according to the Hassan fans.
Well,
There
why
were
were you
there's
there?
a Twitter account called Twitch Crackers that was calling for my arrest online.
Fun.
So
Is that why you were there
I
to
know I was
harass? Did you
there.
intend to harass him?
No, that's not why I was there. You can see on the live stream. I was there to get Hassan to commit to very ridiculous questions. So one of the things I wanted to ask him was about baby settlers. Um, would he commit to the idea that baby settlers are valid military targets? And depending on his answer, he's either going to make his tanky audience mad because they consider all settlers, whether they're babies or not, to be valid military targets, or he's going to make the liberals in the audience mad because he's going to say that you should go kill babies in Palestine or Israel or whatever you call it.
Okay.
So
Well, we'll get into it. Mooten, hi.
What up, Wig? How's it
Welcome.
going?
Oh,
I'm Mooten.
it was
You
nice
know,
meeting you at LibCon, by the way.
it was nice meeting you. I'm sad we didn't get to get a beer together and have a longer chat.
I was
But I'm
working.
an important, busy man. I was working as well, working them streets, if you know what I'm saying. I'm Mooten. I run anything else with my co-host Dan and Steve. He'll be back soon. I was denied entry by the man named Cameron Landon. He is the vice president of the College Democrats. He refused to let me into the College Democrats.
Why? Did he give a reason?
He thought that we were going to make a disturbance and yell obscene stuff at Hasan Piker.
How many of these conventions have you been to? I'm just curious.
I went to LibCon and I've been to a lot of conventions. These were my first political conventions.
Do you have a history of being disruptive at any of these events?
No, I don't.
No, nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
We'll get more. We'll save Destiny for last here. Radiant, hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, we're here. So you were kicked out of this event. Are
That is true,
you are you affiliated with DGG in any way? Digital Ground Game, to be clear.
Oh, no, not at all. The funny thing is that like we tried to like work with Digital Ground Game like a while back because Darius wanted to start doing some canvassing content, but they were telling us don't like we really don't want like Darius type content at any of the political events related to Digital Ground Game. And I believe he's currently still banned from that Discord over some memes that I don't know the specific details of. And yeah, it's just really funny when I see online people talking about us being closely affiliated with Digital Ground Game. Oh, and another thing is like all the people we talk to over there would tell us like, hey, like please guys, keep our names out of your mouths. We don't work with you. We don't want anybody to think that we work with you and like all that.
No, they hate
But
your
no,
ass.
Yeah,
yeah,
why were you
apparently.
there then? Why were you going to the CDA stuff?
Well, honestly, it was because so we didn't really have much to do that day, and somebody that we knew told us that like there was another like convention going on that's like LibCon, that would have Hassan coming to speak, and we were like, you know what, let's just go. Maybe we can go see it. We can go talk to Hassan, ask him some like hot questions because we don't really like Hassan very much, and we think his politics are very corrosive to at least like the current state of American politics, and yeah, and also while we're there, we could also like do some like political outreach and all that. Mainly just like to talk to people and get to know
Sure,
politicians and all that.
so no intent to harass Hassan or disrupt the event?
No, not really. Like, because I'm the one. Darius always yells at me for like for being too careful about things. But I really don't like the idea of just like crashing things and kind of ruining. Because even though we're not associated with digital ground game, there are people on the internet that will associate us with it anyway because they don't really think things too hard. And so like I've tried to play it safe and like, guys, we can't really do anything here because like
Got you. Okay. Well, we'll get into it as we go. Persec, is that how you say your name? I don't actually know.
Yeah, that works.
Parsec.
It works. Okay, it works. Why were you there? First of all, are you affiliated with DGG in any capacity?
Not digital ground game. No, no affiliation. I'm a fan of what they do. I think there's some cool guys, but I don't have any affiliation to them. No.
Don't work with them, nothing?
Nope.
Okay. Why were you at the CDA thing?
So I was woken up and I had no idea that this shit was going on, but I figured out that Hasan was speaking at a Democratic place, a Democratic convention. He's not a Democrat. He's a liberal. I don't like Hasan and I don't like his politics. So we went out there. We wanted to go ask him some questions about the things that he's said publicly. And that's what we tried to do, and then we got kicked out.
What was the reason that you were given for why you were kicked out?
So me and Darius went around the corner for a quick drink. We came back, and then we just weren't allowed to re-enter the building. We got right up to the security, and then they identified us as the guys who were streaming. And then they said to us, myself and Darius, as we tried to get back in, that they were informed that we were there to disrupt and that we were there to harass the attendees, which we absolutely weren't. And we didn't. It was all recorded live. There was no harassing. We asked some super easy questions to the people that were there. We were trying to kind of suss out like how they felt about Hasan being at the convention. And it was a lot of fun, and there was some cool people there. But then, yeah,
before you were being kicked out, was anyone like side-eyeing you, or anyone you interact with like yelling at you, or trying to cause a scene, or arguing with you, anything like that?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like there were some people there that like I think they kind of figured out who Darius was at a certain point, but that was like pretty late on, and that was like right
I
before
can
that
add
we got
like
kicked
way
out.
more. I can add way more details to that because I believe at that moment I think Parsec and Darius stepped out for an hour to go like I think get something from the car and like
Oh, yeah.
get a drink or something. But basically it was me, North, and Mooks, another person that was with us, or the girl on the stream if you guys have seen any clips of it. And we were kind of just like doing our thing. We're just like interviewing people, whoever wants to be interviewed. Like we would tell them, hey guys, like we're streaming this thing. If you wanted to like expose, I guess like your profile to a large audience, and talk about your politics and what you do here, and and all that. Like we'd love to ask you some questions. People were generally very excited to do that. At one point, there was like two people that kind of pulled us, or three people actually that pulled us aside, and started asking us things like, are you guys like causing trouble? We've been getting calls and texts because I think this was about an hour in of the stream about like they said that there was like they were getting texts from somebody that there was disruptive kick streamers at the convention looking to just like harass Hasan and just like cause trouble in general. And then the guy, like, there was another guy, I think he might have been like the head of security or something. He like showed me his phone and there was a bunch of texts from, I think it's either somebody from Hasan's camp or Hasan himself saying like, there's this guy named Darius IRL, like at your convention, like actively looking for Hasan and just like causing a bunch of drama and like harassing the guests there. But I talked to them and like I told them like we'd already cleared this like stream up with a communications person.
Is that true? Had you talked to a communications person?
Yes, I think Parsec can actually probably tell more about that because I wasn't like next to them when that happened. But I think you want to talk about like how they gave you the press badge, or they said that you can have the press badge and stuff like that, and
they gave you a press badge? I did not know this.
They wanted to. They just didn't.
No, they didn't.
I think.
They gave us like press authorization. They couldn't give us a badge because they didn't have any because like this was a last minute thing. We kind of just bought tickets, but they told us like we can act as press and like record and do all that stuff. But
okay,
yeah, Parsec, do you know anything more about the conversation? Because I think that's just how it went.
Oh, we didn't get Steve's intro. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Were you given press authorization, Steven?
Nope, they didn't give me shit.
Okay, so did you guys? So I'm unclear on this. Did you guys arrive as a group, or were Steven? Were you a separate thing from the Darius thing? How'd that work out?
I think they were already in, and then we showed up. Me, Mooten, and then 2 other of our friends, and then we passed them by as they were getting kicked out, and then we saw them, and then we walked up, and the Kafea Layton vice president was there waiting for us, and he got us, and he said,
Cameron
"You're not
Landon.
getting in here.
That's the
You're not
guy.
getting
That
in here."
guy was so mad. Like that moment we were getting kicked out. That guy was like almost straight up screaming at us, like saying like, "I know you guys what you guys are here for. You guys are not going to ruin this event for us. Like you're not going to talk to Hasan. Like you're not trying to get content for your stream." And I
Yeah,
was just like,
apparently they couldn't risk having DGGers or Destiny orbiters. They use that exact terminology
literally, yeah,
to be
literally.
in the event.
Destiny
We were
orbiters.
too much of a risk, apparently. We're going
Funnily
to
enough,
do something. I don't
where did all
know.
the drama come from?
That's crazy. Well, I'll just ask you directly, Destiny. Were you planning to do any kind of disruptive activities? What were you planning to do? Say no one had said anything. You were able to get in. What was the plan when you got there?
Okay, so wait, I forget. Do you have a music background?
Do I have a music background? Not
Yeah.
too much, right?
Okay, there's this type of yodeling. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. The I don't actually know. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of funny because I got into a lot of arguments with a couple of my behind the scenes people who were talking about different ways to try to sneak into the event to have like some huge showdown with Hasan and like ask him a question and push him critically on something. But I don't think anything would have happened if we actually got in. Like at most we would have watched the event and like I tried to ask a question in the Q&A or maybe said something to him as he's walking away. But this guy scurries away so much because he's so petrified of any kind of like challenging questions at all that I don't know. I really don't think anything would have happened. Obviously, I mean, like this is I have to remember that I'm engaging. We're on like the demagogue level of just like saying random shit. But like if we're trying to be rational human beings, I would never disrupt or do anything crazy at an event because if I were to do that, it would give Hasan like the ultimate reason to have me kicked out of and banned from every single event in the future. Like that would just be the stupidest thing in the world for me to do. Why would I ever do that? It would be so
Have
dumb.
you've been to a lot of these conventions and events and things like that? Probably dozens, you would say at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever disrupted one of them? Do you have any history of doing anything, of getting kicked out from any of these events, or disrupting, or being a nuisance, or anything like that?
One time, a long time ago, me and a friend, it was a big West Side Creighton Prep football game, and we wandered into enemy territory after Prep won the game, and the West Side kids wanted to kill us, and they escorted us out, and we almost got detentions for being on the other side of the bleachers.
Okay,
But
so-
other than that, I have never been removed from anything in my entire life.
So in high school, basically?
Yeah.
That's insane. So they had, I guess, what was the basis of saying you were going to disrupt then? Like what was there? Did they tell you why they thought that you were going to be a nuisance or being disruptive?
Nope.
Did they give you any reason?
Nope. He says that he's not having that discussion with me. So
Did anyone reach
Yeah,
out?
he refused to talk about it, and then he said, "You need to leave." And then he started debating Steve, and then he yelled for security.
well, not really. He didn't even debate me, right? He just
No,
said, I'm
yeah.
not having this discussion with you. I asked for somebody above him, and he said, well, she agrees with all my decisions. And then it's like, okay.
So one of the things I figured out while I was researching for this stream.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh.
Somebody said, "Were you not removed from Charlie Kirk events too?" I don't believe I was. We snuck into that event, and then I had 2 debates, I believe. One was with a really weird dude, and another one was with Myron Gaines. Sean Kelly hosted both of these, I believe. And after that, their head of security approached me because he recognized me because he was a big guy at the event and he knew who I was. And he kind of approached me and he chatted with me a little bit. The way that a lot of the conservatives work, Charlie Kirk especially, and Charlie Kirk security included, was they want to be on friendly terms with everybody. And so I don't believe he ever kicked me out. At first, he approached me and he chatted with me and he said, hey, here's my number if you need anything, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to remember if they might have kicked me out after my 2 shows, though. But I don't think he did. But originally, he didn't. Yeah, that's my recollection.
Fair
and that was the
enough.
thing we actually snuck into and weren't supposed to be at all. So.
But to your knowledge, never kicked out, never removed for being a disruption, except for once in high school. Okay, got you. Well, first of all, hello, Mooks. Is that how you say your name?
Hello. Yes.
Hi. You were also kicked out of the event.
Well,
Same,
sort of.
sort of. Well, elaborate
Yes.
then, perhaps.
I was the last person in our group who was left inside, and I was getting spam phone calls saying that they got kicked out. I was left with Darius's streaming setup, so I did not know what to do at that point. So I just reconnected with my group.
Okay, so you weren't actually kicked out of the event then. You were
Nope.
still behind the scenes, and you just
Yes.
decided to join them. Interesting.
I wish I stayed behind in retrospect, but yeah,
how did you avoid capture, I guess?
Ah! Oh my god, sorry, my camera shut off. Nobody was bothered by me at all. I was just being nice, interviewing people. I don't know. I just didn't cause a ruckus. I just walked out because I
Did
wanted
the
to.
other
I
guys
don't know.
around you
So
cause a ruckus?
No, nobody did. Nobody in our group did at all.
I can tell you what
There
happened.
were no issues.
Okay, if you
So
could tell me what happened, because I'm just wondering why she wasn't kicked out, but the rest of you were.
yeah, okay, no, it's really silly.
Okay.
So basically,
Hold on, Radiant. You got to do better at summarizing because you're the king of irrelevant details.
I,
Okay,
it's
so
not irrelevant.
summarize.
Okay, it's not irrelevant. Okay,
It's
listen,
all
listen,
relevant.
listen.
Okay.
It's all relevant.
Okay.
It's all very relevant. Okay, basically, me and North. This was around the time when Destiny like was on his way in. Like we're hearing chatter about him coming into the building. So we're like, I told North, can you go look for Destiny at the front? North was looking around him at the front, and at the same time, Parsec and Darius were walking back in because they were coming to also meet Destiny just to say hi. And at that moment, when they met North at the front door, that's when the security guy, I think the guy with the keffiyeh, saw them, and I think he pointed him out to security.
Cameron
And
Landon, that's his name.
is that him? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He pointed out Darius. Like as soon as he saw Darius, he pointed him out and told security kick that guy out. And that's when me and North, I think, walked up to say like, "Yo, wait, hold on, he's with us. Like we're doing this interview stuff." And then that's when me and North and Parsec also got, or no, Parsec was with Darius, but that's when me and North also got kicked out. And that meant Mooks was alone with the stream, like in the other side of the room.
Okay, so she just.
yeah.
It sounds like they didn't associate her with you guys. At least.
Yeah, it was way simpler than
Basically,
that.
yeah.
It was strategic. That's literally all it was. Just because me and Darius were getting drinks, we left
I
Mooks
was
alone with the
prevented
camera
from
because she's a
re-entry
woman.
later when I tried to go in.
Okay, so when you tried to go in, why did they give a reason for why they said they prevented you re-entry?
Nope. It was a security guard that was at the door. I tried to go back in, and she just said, "You cannot go in." And I was like, "Me too." And she said, "Yes, you too." And I just left because I was nervous.
Fair
Nice.
enough. Fair enough. I guess what has been so I guess I'll try it this way. One of the things that I also have learned while doing research for this stream, I talked off the record to a couple people who are involved with the College Democrats. None of them, I invited them to come on officially. No one wants to come on in an official capacity to give their side. I didn't push them too hard, given the fact that if they're willing to kick out unaffiliated streamers for just being in Destiny's orbit, what are they going to do to the people who talk to us, right? I don't know. What they have told me is that this was a deeply unpopular decision. It was the board members that kind of overrode people when inviting Hasan Piker. And the second thing that I learned from reporting that I've seen in various outlets and an Instagram post made by the organization itself or one of the factions within the organization itself is that there was a scheduled walkout of the event, that people were going to protest Hasan Piker by walking out from his speech, and they were prevented from doing so by the national board members, citing security concerns. Do any of you have any knowledge of any of that, or were you, when during your interviews or talking to anyone, did you ask them about how they felt Hasan Piker being there? Anything?
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead.
I was asking around and interviewing people about like what they felt about Hasan Piker showing up to the event. Most people were saying like they didn't really care and that they just wanted to focus on attacking Republicans and that punching left was like not the time at the moment. One person mentioned to me that there was going to be a walkout planned. They didn't know how many people were going to walk out. They estimated maybe like a third of the people might walk out.
Sure.
You mentioned that Instagram post by the pro-Israel caucus of the College Democrats, which said that they prevented people from leaving the building to do a walkout, I guess for Hassan optics reasons, which is wild, by the way.
So just to be clear, they're
force
the
people to stay
Jewish
in the building,
caucus, is
but-
what they call themselves, but go ahead.
Oh, Jewish. Sorry,
Yeah.
not Jewish. Not sorry. Mistakes. Yeah, what are you gonna do? And then someone reached out to me privately, and they gave me a little peek behind the scenes. What I can say without revealing their information is it's a little bit worse than the organizers. Is it's worse than the organizers overriding like the younger people. They had a process for inviting like people to the event, and they just like ignored that process and invited Hasan anyway. And it was sort of like a ask for forgiveness instead of for permission. So it was like a very few people in positions of power just inviting Hasan Piker in. So
I guess, and this is a question more for.
Wait. Can I ask a question on that? Because
yeah,
I
go
haven't
for it,
heard
go for it.
much.
sure.
What did they say anything about why that process was skipped?
There were people questioning it, and there were people questioning it, like, "Why are we doing this? Like, what's going on? Why weren't we like consulted about this?" And they said, "It's too late now. There's nothing we can do. He's coming." And then that's all I saw.
Okay.
So
I only ask because I have a theory in my mind that Hasan just didn't want to announce it in advance so that I wouldn't have time to plan. I'm curious if that was like strategic, why he didn't want to announce anything in advance.
it might have been strategic. Yeah, as far as I know, it was within like I'm not gonna say the exact time period because I don't know if there's like that's gonna be too revealing, but yeah, like very shortly before they announced that he was coming, and people were mad about that. So
So I no offense to you, Destiny, but I think it probably, and this is me theory crafting here, it probably was strategic that this was going to be a very unpopular decision, and they wanted to kind of get it in and slide it in under the radar. If I had to guess, I don't know. I have heard similar stories from people that I've talked to off the record, so I can kind of corroborate that people are telling me pretty much what they were telling you, Mr. North. But other than that, yeah, I could only guess as to the why in that process.
I just
how
want to say real
worried-
quick from a
Sure.
strategic party building perspective, whatever the you want to call it. So like obviously I recognize that I'm a difficult figure for a variety of reasons to get together with. I'm never demanding credit from politicians that I'm helping, or like, oh, me and Mom Donnie, we phone call all the time when we're in bed and we're chatting about girls. Like I don't care about this shit. I do think it's particularly disgusting that when Hasan goes to these events, he always has it as like a last minute thing, because what it does is it maximizes the clout for him and it destroys the ability for his community or anybody else to drum up publicity for it based on him. So he's like he's harming the event maximally while giving them zero upside for inviting a controversial figure. Like imagine, well, we don't have to imagine. It was the same thing with the Cuba trip as well, right? Like if you're going to go on an event that's going to be controversial and it's going to bring some people into respect or dispute, or there's a word I'm looking for. It's gonna cause reputational harm. Or there's gonna be like a huge outrage about it. Why not at least have the benefit of a whole bunch of Hasan fans or fundraising or awareness can be kicked up as well? Like he goes to collect the clout and then leaves them with like the bombshell fallout, which is, I think, disrepute. Sorry.
No, that makes sense. I think one of the things that we have to understand is this whole incident was anti-democracy, right? This wasn't just an attack on Steven, attack on Destiny and his orbiters and all these things, but this was overriding the will of the members of the organization and having their elites basically decide for them, and in a way and in a manner, as you said, that was last minute, that maximizes his clout, but means that he can't really be questioned. People can't plan to attend, to protest, or anything like that. And it's a problem. It's a problem. How do we deal with that? Is there any what's the solution to that? No solutions.
The solution is you have to climb. I'm working. I'm just very far behind on this now
Sure.
because it's taking me so long to do it. But you have to play the politics game in the background, and you have to climb the ranks socially in order to make the connections to get people to listen to you. But I mean, that's really it. Like Hasan, authoritarian types everywhere they go will always try to maximally exercise their power to disallow oppositional speech. That's just definitional. That's how the authoritarian movements, including leftist movements, have worked in the past. And it's how they function currently. So if Hasan has the ability to cut you from an event, he will do it if he thinks that you're going to be a threat to him, of course. So, but all you can do is try to signal as hard as you can on the other side and build the connections on the ground to get people to listen to you. And yeah, that's it.
What?
Darius is in the background.
I just hit the thing. It's unless he's on a different account.
He's on Darius' icon.
Yeah, he's on
Okay,
a
different account.
second account.
Okay, well, we can ask him directly because there's been some questions the audience has had. Hello. You're muted on your end, sir.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah, well, my fucking family's cuz like, damn, I just so Someone just messaged me and said I need to make sure I'm in here. Give me like 1 sec.
Okay, well, wonderful, great. We have Darius with us, gang, and a lot of you have had questions, and who better to ask than the man himself? In the meantime, while he gets ready, I guess for Mooks, for North, for Radiant, for Persec, does this make you want to get more involved or less involved with the political process, being treated like you were?
Oh, more involved for sure.
Yeah, tell me why. Elaborate.
Yeah, I'm very oppositional, I guess. Like when people say don't do this thing, I kind of want to do it. And like it feels again very weird to like be told to like stop. I guess like we weren't really doing anything like crazy. Like we were literally just talking, going up to people and asking them if they want to like give them free publicity to talk about like their platforms and politics and all that. And they really loved it. So it feels really weird that they're stopping us from doing that. That's why I want to keep doing it.
Fair enough. Anything else from Persec, Mooks, or North?
Yeah,
I've been radicalized.
I'm really not.
Oh, sorry, you go.
I'm really not happy. Sorry, I was trying to finish my sentence and then Radiant cut me off. So, yes, I am really happy to be a liberal in liberal spaces, and the more liberals that we can get in liberal spaces, the better. And liberals being kicked out of liberal spaces should only make you, as a liberal, feel more encouraged to get involved in politics. You absolutely should, because it's not cool. It's not cool, and it's really scary. We're in a really scary spot. We gotta lock in.
Gotcha.
Sorry, go ahead.
Tighten up.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a radicalizing moment for me in like two directions. One, I did sort of let myself get a little bit mindfucked by this is something that conservatives usually say a lot, that like, oh, there's communists infiltrating institutions in society in order to like take over everything. And then sort of moved into the Never Trumper camp, and then I thought, okay, maybe that like line of thinking was wrong, but now I'm like, after getting kicked out of the event, I've been definitely more radicalized against like DSA types and like leftists who are trying to infiltrate institutions, especially like political institutions,
Yeah,
in order to like get their messaging across.
one
But then
of the damning things that Hasan is doing is he's proving a lot of Republican caricatures about Democrats correct. Like when they talk about Democrats, they're wrong. They're just making shit up. But everything they say about Democrats, Hasan kind of is. Like Hasan kind of is infiltrating these organizations, and the people around him are infiltrating these organizations. And I think this is a great example of it, of how, again, they put themselves into places and positions of influence and power so that they can override what the organization is there for in order to get their own agenda done. But Darius, are you with us?
Is my shit working? My camera, dude. Whatever.
We can
I don't
see
care.
you.
Yep.
Yeah. You can see me?
Yes, we can
Yes.
see you, man.
Yeah, it's
What's
called a
up,
camera.
man?
That's what it does.
Like you can see me dead ass right now?
Yeah,
Dead
literally, yes.
I can't see myself at all. What the fuck?
Doesn't
All right.
oh my
Yeah, that looks
gosh.
sick. Okay.
Okay, so
All right,
we got a
well,
couple
anyways,
questions for you, Darius.
Well, yeah. Well, first, how about the first thing is I can't answer the first question, man.
Go ahead,
Like
answer
the
your first.
radicalization. Well, okay, so I didn't realize that I actually don't have to do anything, and I could just scare people. I thought I was gonna have to go there and like actually say something, and then he was gonna counter me, and I was like, okay, I need to think of something clever back to say to him. I don't have to do all that, and I could still own these guys. So yeah, I'll make sure I attend every single thing Hasan ever goes to in the future, because I'll just get easy farm off of him if I just go over there and just attend his fucking things, and he's just gonna be like, oh, I'm just scared of this guy's presence just because like you can easily make me look like a retard if I go anywhere. Just say like, oh yeah, like what the is what's the difference between a senator and a congressman? I don't fucking know. Like I can't tell you anything. But they don't want to fucking do that. So honestly, if I just know I could just troll these people just by existing, I'll just keep existing.
Oh, are you I guess I'll ask this.
Wait,
What-
real quick on that point, because it does bear repeating. I've said this a lot too, that there are certain ways that you act when you know that people are like marks. Like if somebody told me that that like Gisticle and Aiden Underground and Queeman were going to show up at some event I'm at to debate to ambush me with an Israel-Palestine debate, like that's a debate I want all day long. Like I'm always going to be excited for them to show up for that. It should say something when the when the go-to strategy is to ban people from even being able to attend and speak. And it should even say something more when they're doing it preemptively. Again, if Hasan is so committed to this idea that we're going to disrupt, and if his audience really thinks that, then let us go and disrupt. And then all we have to do is we disrupt one time, and then you kick us out, and then boom, like now we've given you a reason to exclude us from every single event in the future. To preemptively do it when not only when nothing has happened, but when these guys were already in the convention and streaming and interviewing people, and there's like video footage of all of it, and nothing bad was happening. It makes you look so scared. And then I think I would already complain a little bit if this was like a DSA event or if it was like some commie event or whatever. But the fact that this was like a College Democrats of America event and we're getting kicked out from like a huge DC event, and we just came from arguably, I don't know, whatever, but arguably like a more prestigious event like the LibCon thing or whatever, that we just came from that, and then they're kicking us out of this? Like, what the that's crazy to me.
Hasan wasn't even going to take any questions, so he didn't even have anything to like worry about.
It's
Obviously,
true.
Maybe, I
none
don't know.
of us are
He
gonna
might have
stream.
been planning to do a Q&A, and then he might have ditched
He
because
ran from it.
it's
Change his
possible.
mind.
Yeah,
I
it is
I
crazy
have
that
no
he showed
idea.
up
What-
at the CDA to give a speech, and he didn't even do a meet and greet at the end. He just dipped immediately.
Gone.
That was really crazy.
Look, we had more GGGers in the audience. You know, they were ready
Clearly.
to ambush
Standing
him.
back, standing by.
Everywhere. Everywhere. We are legion. Darius, are you
And then-
involved
and the
in
final
any
thing, then you asked-
official
Darius,
capacity? Oh, go ahead.
A final thing, just to do all of this on the back of wearing a mouse suit to this was just beyond parody. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Look,
I'm wearing a mouse suit to every single one I go to now.
why?
Why not, dude?
Yeah,
You can
okay,
just do whatever
Darius,
you
no, we're
want.
gonna focus. You're not gonna distract me. Darius, are you officially in any official capacity working with Digital Ground Game? Are you a representative of them? Are you a member? Anything like that?
Wait, let me leave and come back and see if my camera works before I answer that question. Hold up.
Oh my god.
Okay, before
this guy
Darius
anyway.
joined, I had a part two to my radicalization thing. And I want to say this specifically because it's important.
Cool.
It's not just that I'm radicalized against leftists infiltrating like political institutions, but there was a lot of optimism that I saw as well. Because there's a lot of liberals out there that were very supportive of us after we got kicked out, and they were very mad that that Hasan was allowed to attend this event in his house suit, talking about the need to like destroy America and the Democratic Party. Like it was wild to see. So while there's radicalization in the negative side, there's also like a little bit of hope pill. So
Okay, my camera's not working. Can you ask your question again one more time, Wick?
Sure.
Your
Are
camera
you
is working.
Are you
Yeah,
Whatever.
Are you involved with DGG, Digital Ground Game, to be clear, in any official capacity?
Yes, I'm the president.
You're the okay. Come on.
No,
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
no. So at LibCon, I tried to get involved, and they completely were literally banning me. I come into Destiny's stream like a day before.
So you're
2 days
banned?
before. I was literally getting banned. I was getting blacklisted from them. I was trying to figure out what was going on because I was like, oh, I'm gonna go there. Maybe I can meet some DGG people and talk to them since I've been like in the orbit, I guess. And literally, all of them communicated they wanted nothing to do with me because of my reputation. And then I met some people after LibCon, and I was talking with them, and they're like, "Yeah, like you're cool, but like your reputation's like kind of crazy. We don't really want to be like attached to you in any way, shape, or form."
When you
So I was like, "Okay."
when you were streaming to go to the College Democrat event, were you streaming on the official DGG Digital Ground Game site?
No,
No?
the website for that.
I asked this because these are the accusations Daystock has made against you, that you were acting as an official DGG volunteer, that you were streaming in an official DGG stream. So I'm asking because these are the
That's what he said?
accusations that have been made.
Yeah, they were titling everything like on the official Digital Ground Game stream. The official members were on the official stream. Yeah, he was saying it over and over again.
No,
They're
that's the
using a
latest.
clip of me trying to say that I was not affiliated and that I've like maybe done some of the call to action things in the server that they ask like everybody to do when they volunteer, but like I'm not like there representing anything. And then that was the clip that they've been using in the tweet. Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, no, the people there don't like me at all. I've tried multiple times to engage myself with them because I'm like, oh, okay, I think I can do pretty good content. But every time I've interacted with them, they've pretty much been like, hey, go do your own thing. And then, if you can fix your public image, we can maybe think about interacting with you.
Okay, I just want to make sure that that was clear and that people understood that the people, and I want to make this clear, there has been a huge amount of spin and propaganda done by certain individuals, J-Stock being one of them, but also Hasan and a lot of his lackeys, to paint you out as an official DGG spokesperson or volunteer that was going to go there for the purpose of harassing Hasan and his community. And I wanted to just clear the air and give you a chance to address those allegations directly, Darius.
Yeah, no. When I went over there, we talked to some delegates for UNCG College, and we kind of just talked to them. I talked to them about the school I'm from, because I'm from North Carolina. They promoted their school, whatever the hell they were doing. We talked to people, and it seemed like we weren't trying to troll. I mean, I would probably if Hasan was up there and he did Q&A, I'd probably say like a troll question. But I definitely wasn't there to troll anybody. I wasn't there like making fun of anyone.
You
If
did
you watch the
say
videos, I know.
you did
Huh?
say in your stream, one of the clips they used, that you were going to snark Hasan. Can you explain and elaborate?
I was probably just gonna ask him, old enough to count, old enough to mount, and that was probably gonna be the whole, thing. I really didn't have any other plans outside of that. That was pretty much the only thing I was planning to snark. I don't really have. When I say I want to snark somebody, I'm kind of using it ironically. So I don't really understand what that means. I'm not trying to actually go
I
there and
believe you.
find
I
him
believe
or
you when
troll
you say
anyone.
that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess, were you doing, was any of your behavior at the event that you can think of in any way disruptive or against the rules that you were given? Now, all of
No,
you,
I talked to.
just
What's weird is
before you answer, because this is a question for everyone, and I believe you said this directly in your stream, North, that you were given a set of rules to follow. I'm curious what those were, but go ahead and answer, Darius.
When I first came there, I originally talked to the guy with the Tel Aviv scarf, like the scarf thing. What's that called?
Cameron Landon.
Kafia.
Yeah, Cameron Landon or whatever. Yeah, I talked to him originally. I told him hey, I'm over here. I just wanted to I came here mainly because of Hasan. But I'm also a Democrat. He was like, oh, that's cool. He said, yeah. He even offered me to get a media press pass, and he was trying to find the person for it, and he couldn't get it for me at the time. He said, just go around, and if anyone asks, just tell them I sent you. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So Cameron Landon, the guy in the cafe that kicked out Destiny, he's the guy that said that to go and try to get a pass and to tell people that he had sent you.
Yeah, literally. I was trying to find we were trying to find the girl who does the media press stuff at the time, and she was like, we couldn't find her. She said she was on lunch or something because we got there like 2 or something, and we couldn't find them. So I was like, yeah, just tell them if you see them, just tell them I sent you, and maybe we can get a set up then. And then by that time, I already forgot about it.
That makes a lot of sense because the communications person was also a lady, and she came to us, and when she first talked to us about the thing after it started blowing up on Twitter, quote unquote, she said that she never heard of the stream thing happening, but it's because if what you're saying is correct, because I wasn't next to you when that happened, it sounds like it's because she got overruled in that sense, or she did get overruled, but she just never they never asked her first, but yeah.
Yeah, she came up to us and she was really spooked that anybody gave us any media clearance at all. She was asking me over and over who gave me permission, and I was pointing over in the general direction of the table of the people that checked us in. She seemed really spooked by it. She was like, I'm the person that's supposed to approve that. I don't know how you got approval. She ended up letting us go. So hold on. So I have written here what happened. So the first thing that she did, this is crazy. The first thing that she asked me was, am I with Darius? Points over to him. I say yes. She asks, is he pro-Palestine? This is I had to ask her 2 times if this is actually what she said. I couldn't understand why that would happen. I just said yes because I didn't know why she was asking. It felt better to just try to blend in. My actual opinion is probably that he's not that opinionated about it, but that he's probably a little both sidesy because most normies are.
And do you know the name of this person? Who was this?
It was the communications director. She had frizzy hair.
But she called herself the communications director of the event?
Yes.
Okay.
It was her, and there were 2 other dudes with him. And that was also when we were shown the text message on the person's phone.
And he asked, and she asked, after expressing dismay that someone had approved or allegedly approved you guys of being given media passes or something. She asked if Darius was pro-Palestine?
Yes. She asked, is he pro-Palestine? And then she says, is he here to cause trouble? And I said, no, he is not here to cause trouble. And then the guy shows me his phone, and he says that he's getting text messages about Darius and has a link to Darius's Kick channel. And it says, this guy is here. I think he was here disrupting people, or I think he's here to disrupt people. And then he's saying, are you with this guy? Is he here to disrupt people? Is this true? And by the time we leave the interaction, it seems like he doesn't understand that I'm trying to tell him that yes, that is Darius. No, he's not here to disrupt. He thinks there's no way this is the same person. So he's just like, you guys seem nice, whatever, I'll let you go. But in the text, it specifically said Hasan is concerned about this. And this same guy.
Okay, so
I know
Hasan
that
was
you
named
also heard this.
specifically. Hasan was
Yes.
concerned that
Yes.
Darius was here. So one of the
Yes.
things that I've
Yes.
heard from people is there any
Yes.
evidence that Hasan himself got you guys kicked out? That this was just like a decision made by the leadership of the college Democrats that happened to be there. But it sounds to me, if you're correct, that the tweets you saw were that Hasan had expressed concern that Darius
Yes.
was here to cause trouble or disrupt.
It was texts from somebody that said they were in communications with Hasan. I also don't know why this guy was even showing me this text if he was suspicious of us. I don't. But anyways, the phone, it said that he's worried about Darius, and then I explain that Darius is not here to cause trouble. And then this is the same guy that an hour before we overheard saying that he was going to pick Hasan up from the hotel or the airport. Persec, I know you heard that part. This was the same dude.
Well, yeah, one of the weirdest things to me was like the discrepancy between like the dude when we came in versus the dude when we were getting kicked out. Because the same dude was like two completely different people, and the only thing that I can possibly think, like the only thing that I think could have possibly happened was that he was informed that we were there to disrupt, or that like it was a boss call from Hasan. That's the only thing I can think of. Because he was so nice. He was so nice. He was welcoming to us. He like wanted to give us a press pass to stream the event. He was happy that we had eyes on the convention. And then whenever we got kicked out, it was like really weird energy, and it was like, I know what you guys are here to do. You guys are like, yeah, you guys are agitators. You guys are trying to yell at Hasan, ask him weird and like we weren't, but the energy was completely different from when we came in, and yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, they were actually super nice to us after we explained things. It was actually crazy just how much the switch was. But
And I tried clearing up that like I felt embarrassed that like I wasn't in the same dress code as everybody else there. I asked if it was like a problem that I had like a top with a lot of cleavage. They said there was no trouble about that. I know nobody here brought that up, but I kept seeing people talk about that, and I was like, no, we weren't kicked out for any dress code issues. We weren't being disruptive. Nobody complained about our behavior. The entire time we were there, nobody complained about our behavior. They only seemed very nice, and like they wanted to clear up that the rumors they were hearing weren't true.
Interesting. When about did it switch? Like, because you mentioned him showing you these texts, but
Yeah.
they were like, well, you guys seem nice, and they kept going. Was there a moment where, was it when Destiny had gotten there, or was it before?
It was like, dude, I'm 99% sure. I think I pinpointed the exact time. It was like an hour before Hasan was going to come there, because I heard Persec was hearing ops talking in the ears, and I was like, at this point, I was like, because I just got off talking to like two different delegate people about like my stream, and we were like, I was like just promoting them, and I was talking about like college and I was talking about what I do with stream, and everyone was like, it seemed like we were having a good time. We were promoting them. They were talking about what they do. But right after that, Persec like hears somebody like talking about like how Destiny's here, and they're calling him, like Sex Pestiny and shit. And then when I hear that, but it's like literally like a group of like six like of some colored haired, like obviously like 18-year-old like liberals, like probably like socialist as fuck people, like just being like just gossiping about Steven and me. And I hear from Persec, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
We
like,
heard
okay,
the Hasan
block.
bat signal, and we were just like, we got to take the heat off, so we left Mooks with the stream. We went
So this is
out.
within like an hour
And
before.
that's
So
when
I was
I
like,
got the stream, yeah.
Wait,
This is
hold
an
on.
hour
Wait,
before.
did you really hear that?
Yeah,
Yes,
because
they were
once you
like
heard it, that's
actual
why if
ops.
you watch the stream, that's when I'm like, yo, the block getting hot team, I gotta get up out of here because you don't know what's about to happen, man. I think like if people around here gossiping about me,
Can you
like
hear it
I
on stream
gotta,
as well?
no, you can't hear it on stream. We're like
No,
in a
because
corner.
I was the only one that heard it, because I walked past them on the way back from. I tried to find a bathroom down the hall. I walked past them, and then they were talking about how they knew who Darius was. They were talking about his association to Destiny, and then talking Destiny. I don't think they knew who I was. So as
He
I
was
walked
like,
past them, they kept talking. But like I think they saw me then rejoin the group, and then they kind of like sheepishly backed off. So
Wow.
Yeah.
It was really funny too, the investigations that they were doing to the people that we were interviewing. Like we would finish interviewing someone, they would go to like a separate table, and then like 3 different organizers would converge on them and start asking them questions about what we like. What I didn't
Was this
hear. I'm
before or
assuming they're talking about,
after
like,
the bat signal or what have you?
Before.
I think this was. I think it was right in the middle of it. If I were to think of like the timeline in my
It was
head.
around
You
the
guys were
time.
doing
So
your
around-
interviews
that-
at the very beginning.
It
I
was
think
around that
just
time that we were
quick.
at the people with like the Costco pizzas.
Just
Yeah,
as
so
a
I
quick
was doing-
thing, I don't think I was ever able to post the footage, but it's funny that you bring that up, like them interrogating them afterwards. One of the saddest things in my life I saw was when I was at somebody in chat just brought it up. When I went to is it University of Texas, where I was interviewing people who were like part of this big pro-Palestine group, and one guy was willing to come up and have like an extended conversation with me, and then afterwards, so many people went up to this dude and kind of started grilling him, and then later on, I would try to talk to him again, and he was like, "I'm sorry, but like I don't think I should talk to you." And we were walking away because I guess he got scolded by the rest of the group. And as me and my camera person were walking away, I looked and I saw this dude. He was sitting all alone in like the middle of this thing where nobody was talking to him. He must have gotten insanely chewed out. People are putting defils in chat. Did I actually have a video of that, of the guy sitting there with nobody around him because everybody hated this dude afterwards? I don't remember how much we caught on video for that, but oh my God, it was so sad. I felt so bad for that dude. Jesus.
Wait, I missed. Did North mention that like there was people like literally like security talking to every person that we talked to right after?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I just
Yeah.
brought
Okay.
up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I missed that part. Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was shocked because I talked to one as soon as I got kicked out. I think this is on stream, but like one of the guys I was talking to that again was just it seemed like it was just a delegate. He was super cool. He was just like, "Yeah, dude, Hasan's gonna be in there soon. I hope you can come see." I was like, I just got literally kicked out by him. I didn't get to have a conversation with him because he went in. But I was like, it's like no, I wasn't there. There was no disruption there for the event, and I was actually there supporting it. We had like 3,000 viewers of people
It was
with attention.
3,000, yeah.
The donuts. I was talking to Donuts for Democracy people. I don't remember the UNCG people from North Carolina, but I messaged them and I was talking to them about what I want to do for canvassing in October. And I told them like, hey, I'm really ignorant, but I just want to get involved. And I feel like I can, stream this and make it exciting. I don't even know if I can still contact those people after this happened, but I still want to be able to do
You
that.
can.
Maybe.
I think so.
Mooks, you mentioned something that I kind of want to ask a little bit about, and this is to all of you though. You mentioned that people had been making comments about the dress code and things. Maybe you got kicked out for dress code. Have you guys faced any kind of harassment or any kind of like negative comments, and to what extent? And can you elaborate on what those are, and to like the I guess the intensity of it or not from this event, if it happened at all? I just want to. Yeah, go ahead.
Generic stuff that you would expect, like people saying mean stuff about how I look and whatever. All of my accounts are like all attempted to being. People are all trying to get all of my shit. It's like that's. I figure that's standard for participating in stuff that's messy. So I don't really, but it's yeah, they're not being nice. There's been a bit of
Okay,
it.
but nothing over the top, right? No death threats or anything like that.
They are giving those in the Twitter DMs a bit, yeah.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Yeah,
My
I
shit
mean,
got doxxed.
streets
My
are
house
calling
got-
me like Timothy Chalamet, and they're saying that I look like cracked out and stuff, but nothing too bad. So I'm happy about that.
Okay.
My
They've been
address
pretty
got
nice.
my
Maybe
address
I'm
got doxxed, but I'm fine for it. It's all good. I'm suited up. I'm always dressed. I ain't worried about nothing, man. But yeah, no, they put up my whole thing out there.
Type shit.
Type shit. It ain't good, man.
I'm not trying to like
I
propagate the
got-
harassment, but like yeah, there's been some really crazy stuff that I've been seeing like about me and everybody else in here, and like yeah, just
What's the
that-
worst
I think
thing?
it's
What's
a
the
lot
worst
worse.
thing you've seen? Curious.
I literally cannot mention it because it's like it's gonna.
It's like a privacy concern to even talk
Oh,
about it.
fair
yeah.
enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
It's
Um,
also just like a huge string of like really gross sexual comments that are just flowing through. I think just
Oh, yeah.
over they
Yeah,
happen all
besides
day.
appearance,
Did
yeah.
you see that about Mooks? Mooks is getting absolutely rabid.
Bro.
It's just
Mooks,
weird when
and
like
also-
cherries.
You don't be specific, but also like for Stardust gets like a lot of like weird, disgusting comments as well. And then for Kyla too, I think they refer to her as it constantly over and over again. That Officer Nasty guy is like dropping so many weird, disgusting comments, and they're all just kind of like,
Yeah, even JStalk was on stream talking about Stardust and
He watched like
Zuckerite.
all of our
Zuckerite.
streams that weekend from us
Zuckerite?
just hanging out, doing like
Zuckerite, yeah.
karaoke and stuff, making fun of us. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
they-
gosh, that
Bro.
karaoke reaction that Gisticle did was actually insane. It's Gisticle Morale watching a live stream of us having fun doing karaoke, and he's like, "Look at these antisocial people who like
Two
can't
fucking
like,
VTubers
dude, you're
watching
in a
real people
Discord
having
call
fun, acting like we're the
reacting to
losers.
us
It's
doing
crazy.
karaoke. What the fuck are you doing? Oh my gosh.
Loser
Yeah.
behavior. We're going to talk more about that Thursday. I got Zug coming on to co-host some Collins, and we're going to talk about the
Yeah.
harassment of women from that side of the internet.
It's crazy gross. They have no standards when it comes to the people they're attacking. They'll go to any depths or whatever. You were catching strays too, Wick, in case you wanted to know. Officer Nasty. A couple
Of
hours
course.
ago. Is Wick for bad faith? It's not free speech to physically disrupt a paid event hosted by a private organization. They're also harassing David Pacman now as well on Twitter. Justigal quote tweeted him earlier to try to call him out, and then David Pacman's Discord mod earlier today was saying that they're getting spam reported on their Discord server, so they've had to log it down a little bit. And then
Well-
somebody mentioned something about their subreddit, but I haven't gone to check that out.
One of the things you said on stream, I'm not sure if it was today or yesterday or maybe it was the day before, about all this is that one of the reasons that a lot of liberal creators don't come out and condemn this kind of behavior or these kinds of events is because when you do talk about it, you are bombarded with hate from all sides to various degrees, right? Like some people get it worse than others, obviously, and it comes in various forms. But no matter what you do, if you speak out against them, you're going to get a huge amount of backlash, a huge amount of harassment, and it's going to be very isolating to deal with. And so I think that that's what's happening to Pacman now is he's being iced out in a lot of ways, and he's going to take a hit. Hopefully it's not that big of a hit, right? Hopefully he can he's a very large channel, right? And he's a very large creator, and hopefully it
I'm
doesn't
honest,
hurt him too
Pacman
much.
even said anything because he's going to get massively harassed now, but I think it's really good that he did, and I think we
Yeah,
should support
absolutely.
him through it.
That should be praised, right?
Yes, if you're out here and you have the opportunity or like you know how to, get in the comments, like shit, support David Pacman for doing that shit. We need it can't just be like the negative comments against those who are out there trying to, tear us down. We have to also build up people who actually say the right things. So
Pichachu, hello.
Hi.
Hi, you
Hey,
Hello.
wait. Never mind. I guess it doesn't matter. But like, I saw that someone just said the Kansas University thing. They said they didn't know that Hasan was going there. I'm pretty sure I did talk to. Maybe it was Kentucky. Maybe I'm getting too confused. But it seemed like everyone there knew that Hasan was coming, and they all seemed pretty ecstatic of it. I don't think anybody there. I'm sorry. I don't think you can like disavow Hasan being there. And I heard who was the freaking person here north? Was you who talked about the walkout they were doing? I didn't even see
I was
that.
the one that talked about the walkout.
Who's the guy who said that? Because how the they able to like this Kansas University thing where they did like a statement or whatever? How are you allowed to do that when like you didn't do anything about it? Like it seemed like everyone there knew about it. At least when I was talking to people, I was like, "Yeah, I'm excited to see Hasan. Yeah, Hasan's gonna be here." Everyone was like, "Yeah, dude, I love Hasan." Like the staff there was like, "I love Hasan. He's awesome." How is anyone there allowed to like now like after backlash say like, "Yeah, it's not."
Well,
we don't
just to be
support that.
clear, from what I heard, when the announcement was made that Hasan was going to be there was a large amount of pushback, right, from people within positions, right, that they were like, "Wait, who's coming? We don't like this. We object to this." And there was a walkout planned, but they were prevented from doing the walkout. Now, again, to the extent of how many people were going to be involved in the walkout, I don't know. But this is corroborated by North hearing this from on-the-ground sources, as well as the announcement from the Jewish Coalition's Instagram and people I've talked to specifically who aren't going on the record. So it's not just out of our right?
Yeah, you also got to keep in mind, like, it's probably a bit by design that everything was announced at the last minute, because it probably does make it hard to organize or stage some type of walkout or protest or whatever, because now who knows what you're going to do. Their leadership might not be on the ground, and this speaker is coming on in an hour or less, or, who knows. Or no, it was probably a couple hours, but like you just don't really have time to effectively organize. And they probably don't even have those organizing bodies. Like, why would you have a sub-organized thing in the DCA event to protest inside the DCA event? Like, you just wouldn't even have the coordination level for that. It would be difficult to do, I think.
Absolutely. Pichachu, can you give us
Yeah,
your
hi.
perspective? You were there when all this went down?
Oh, yes, I was.
Tell us about it from your perspective. Were you kicked out? When were you kicked out? When did you? Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was kicked out with the boys with Moot and Steve. Um I was so excited to go and sit down for at like a political conference. I'm not as like online politically involved as everyone else is, so I don't really get to do that stuff very often. Um and I was excited to like sit down and like learn stuff. And then we got to the front and everything went really well through security and we were, like having a good time talking to the security guard. Everyone was so friendly. And then when it was time to like give the name and the tickets, they were like, "What's your name?" And then Steven said, "I'm Steven." And then this guy's face just got really serious. And he was like, "Okay, wait a minute." And then he looked down at his phone and he started texting someone hardcore. And that's when I was like, okay, this is gonna be a problem, isn't it? And then yeah, they told us to leave.
Were you?
That was the video.
You were there videotaping, right? Were they? Were you planning to do anything disruptive there? Well, what was your plan when you got there? You said you wanted to sit down and learn and just kind of attend the conference.
Yeah, I was excited to sit there and see what I agreed with and disagreed with. I was there as a supple young mind ready to be molded.
Fair enough.
Um
Fair
and
enough.
I was excited to see if I disagreed with stuff, maybe like chuckle to myself here or there. I think I would have probably agreed with because it's like liberal and I'm a liberal, so I probably would have agreed with like most of the stuff that they said. But even if I disagreed with something, I don't know, like
And you were
I wouldn't
kicked
have
out with the
yelled.
rest of them. Did they give you a reason why they were kicking you specifically out?
No, no. But they were really. Everyone was being so calm. It was just us. But they called security on us. So I was just like, okay.
Cameron Landon called for security. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
True.
Security.
Security.
He was really scared, man. I wasn't planning on recording anything. I just the way that he like responded to Steven, he was like, "Steven?" And then the way that he went on his phone, I was like, okay, some shit about to go down. And content brain.
How come you guys are able to stay in? Like literally all of us, we got escorted out the building and security was just standing at the door staring at us, making sure we don't come back in. Like it was so
Well,
weird.
we didn't even get badges or anything to go in at all. So I mean, maybe
Okay,
that's why,
right.
because they figured we wouldn't be able to get in anywhere.
I mean, we did. We paid for our tickets. That's the crazy thing.
Did
too,
you
is we all
guys?
paid like
Did
$60 a
any of
still
you
have
get
my
your money
badge.
back yet?
We did
We
not
got
get our
mine
money
back
back.
today.
No,
So
we
did
did
I,
not get our
think.
money
No,
back.
hold
I
on.
actually
Official disclaimer. I did get an email from the College Democrats of America. My ticket and Darius's ticket, because I paid for him, were refunded to me. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but
I also got an email and I
think
got
that some of the pressure.
I got 3 of the tickets refunded, and I think that's
Okay.
what I purchased.
Okay, well,
I
that
think that's
one of
think
those
it's all
was
of
mine.
them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we did.
Fair enough. So at least that's true. Steven, did you get your tickets refunded?
Yeah.
Good. At least they did that.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Let's read a few of these super chats for you guys. $10 from It's Fishy. Destiny. Would you consider doing a call-in stream or something with the many college Dems who wanted to see you or condemned leadership's protection of Hasan? The Kansas University College Dems already condemned Hasan.
I mean, if any of them wanted to, yeah, sure. I think I put out feelers through the DGG poll guys to see what the appetite was for something like that. But also, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Sure. $2 from Linus Clark. Please have IRI on these panels. I love you, Wick. If IRI wants to come on a show, I'd be happy to have him. Yeah, just he has to hit me up and tell me a time and what he wants to talk about, and we'll make it happen. €5, I should say, from Rex Gardner. Hasan kicking Destiny and any in his orbit proved everything Destiny said about Hasan. Destiny did more for Democrats. Hasan is a clown. Thank you for the $5. $5 from Mr. Chris Bennett. Unfortunately, this won't change unless more voices speak out. Where was Mockler's condemnation? Where was Brian Tyler Cohen's condemnation? And I'm just curious, like you're I don't know if I want to say friends, but you're associates with Mockler and you've worked with all these people in the past. Have they reached out privately to you at all to ask about this situation, Destiny?
No, but I also probably was a little aggressive over the past few days, so I wouldn't expect them to. But the consensus behind the scenes is basically it's free money to just kind of like bash Trump all day, and attacking the left doesn't do as well for your viewership metrics, and it also invites a lot of like critical blowback because some of these people will either stop watching you or they'll start harassing you or they'll, like start shitting up your comment section. So it's just not worth it for a lot of them, unfortunately. I say not worth it. I mean, I would argue it should be worth it if you're embarked on a political project and not just trying to like maximize the money you're making. But
Well, there is a argument that I have heard, and I don't know how to kind of convince people that this isn't true. But the argument is that we need to focus on Trump now, that all this talk about interfaction fighting is a distraction. It makes us look weak, and it makes it harder for us to win elections in the midterms in 2028 because we're busy fighting each other instead of fighting Trump. So we shouldn't focus any of our attention on Hasan. Trump is the president. Trump has the power. Trump's in office. MAGA's in office. They have executive power and congressional control. So why should we do anything about Hasan right now? Because Trump is the main target.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why they can't do that. I don't know why Hasan feels the need to call me a rapist, pedophile every single day, or why the only people these guys seem to have any heat for are other Democrats. As soon as they start focusing more on real politics, like being substantive in their critique of other people's political positions, like mine, or as soon as they start attacking MAGA and not just constantly going after moderate Dems or attacking the entirety of the United States and trying to raise up the reputation of Stalin and Mao, then yeah, I think that'd be good. But in the meantime, if they're going to be a cancer inside the party, you have to address it. You can't just sit there and ignore it and pretend it'll go away. It'll just grow, especially when all they do is attack us.
Fair enough. $5 from Audacity. I hear that vice president guy was really 3 doobies in a trench coat. Oh, maybe. $5 from Dirty Deeds. Cultural Marxism proven to exist once again. It's almost like they wrote this down 80 years ago, exactly how to do exactly what they are doing. As outside of Hasan, how serious should we take things like this? This entryism, I guess, that's going on. Is this something that is more widespread than we've been?
We shouldn't have to take it seriously at all because it should be very easy for people to just say like, oh no, this is wacky. So like what should have happened when Hasan started firing off all of his text messages, I guarantee you he probably also threatened to pull himself from the event. Not like directly, but something along the lines of like, I don't know if I feel safe coming if he's there. I'm sure he was saying shit like that. It should just be an easy like, oh, okay, well, if you're not comfortable coming, like that's fine, but we're not going to exclude people from the event unless they engage in some kind of bad behavior first. This is the policy that I have for all my events. I don't preemptively exclude anybody from any of the things that I go to. And especially for Hasan to be walking out here talking about how brave he was doing events right after Charlie Kirk when he used that as an excuse to cancel events for at least a month, I think. No, it's cringe. Like, it shouldn't be a big problem because we should be able to easily say, hey, this is dumb. Like, this is not how we do this isn't how we do politics on the Democratic side. But if people aren't willing to say that, well, now it's a huge problem.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How common is it for people to not be allowed into events because they disagree with the opinions of other people? Like the university that I went to, and I'm sure other universities, which I won't get into the specific one, but we would have speakers sometimes, and like as like a more lefty person, sometimes they would have on more like conservative speakers, but all of the like lefty friends that I was friends with, we would go to those things, or like they would go, and you would never get kicked out just for disagreeing, right?
Unfortunately, in the U.S., I think our colleges have had a reputation for a while for being a little bit exclusionary. Conservatives kind of dealt with this, but then they also were crazy. Like Milo got excluded from a lot, but he was also like posting the information of individual trans people that ended up getting harassed, and so it's hard to say. But generally speaking, you tolerate like people that are at your university that you disagree with. Like, I don't think I would have. I'm not sure if I would have predicted that this would have happened or not.
But like even like for example, you see those YouTube videos of like Ben Shapiro, and there are tons of people that adamantly disagree with him that want to make him look like a fool on stage by asking questions, but they're still allowed in because I mean he feels that he can like argue with them, and shouldn't we do the same thing? To just be like,
Well, isn't
yeah,
the fundamental
argue with
nature of
them,
that
but-
like different?
Well, hold on. I would say that we should be able to do that same thing, but I would argue that everybody does politics right now in the United States. Like you see Ben Shapiro doing that. These are college events where he's going to basically smurf in like a bronze server as a grandmaster, and he won't announce where he's going until literally, well, sometimes till after
Like
the video's
day of.
posted. Yeah, there's a reason why those guys, Crowder and Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, all these guys pretended that they were great debaters, but they would just ambush college kids that weren't ready to deal with them. That was their MO for sure.
I
So
would
Hasan is
say-
technically in line with all of the weirdo authoritarian types on the right. This is just how everybody functions. Nobody wants to actually be critically challenged on
Okay,
anything.
but
Interesting.
just real quick before we go on, because I think this is worth addressing. $10 from Admiral Love. Can you ask Destiny to address that Discord screenshot floating around about how it would be justified or justifiable to kill Hasan in Minecraft? That's what I've been seeing used to justify keeping him out.
Sure. So, I mean, you can click the link beforehand. There's two ways, a precise way and a macro way that this talking about is really annoying to me. So in the precise way, I'm responding particularly to a video that I've linked in there. Nobody obviously plays the video because nobody gives a fuck. But in that video, Hasan is talking about, it's just another broad justification for why you can kill essentially any Israeli citizen. And this is at a time when the harassment against Ela and Ethan Klein was at its peak, basically, after they had skulls mailed to them, CPS called on them. And Hasan goes out of his way to amplify his statement of like, this is why you can attack people who are IDFs and raiding the West Bank, even your favorite YouTuber's wife. And it was just like it was an unhinged statement to make. And then in watching that, because again, with all the harassment, I think I quoted this or I linked the VOD or whatever. And I was like, the same argument you can justify killing Hasan, basically, is I think more or less what I said. I don't know the exact quote. Everybody's seen this message posted a million times, but it's basically essentially that. But I think it's the annoying thing. So that's on the precise thing. It's pretty obvious to see what I'm responding to, number one. But number two, the annoying thing is that like if there was ever a canary in the coal mine for people on the left getting murdered, I'm pretty sure it would be me. Like I've been swatted half a dozen times over the past year and a half. Like I have so much harassment and shows up. I've been demonetized on YouTube. I'm permabanned from Twitch. Like Hasan is not like threatened at all. So the idea that somehow he's the one who's like under pressure or whatever is ridiculous. If anybody's going to get assassinated at some event, it's probably going to be me or somebody in my. Well, I imagine it would be somebody in me or my order force. That would just be my guess.
It's gonna be you or Trump, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Well, I'll make sure to sit a couple seats away from you. Okay, next time we're doing an event together in real life, just in case. Okay, I don't want to get any blood on my suit. Or
I haven't watched. Apparently, I missed these, but because my editor was shouting at me. But apparently, Hasan was even making statements relating to, saying that that I'm like a Democratic Jake Lang, and that he was saying things like, "quote Minnesota knew how to deal with Jake Lang," end quote.
Do you have
and
these
I'm pretty
clips?
sure.
Can you send them to me?
I haven't watched them yet, and I just got they're huge VOD links. Give me a second, and I'll like listen to it, and I'll.
Jake Lang got assaulted in
I
Minnesota,
have seen Mike from PA put out a tweet. It's saying how long before it happens, you think? And he's quote tweeting you saying I'm Donnie, and it's a clip by Substance, that Substance guy, and Hasan and Mike from PA is specifically kind of wondering aloud when you're gonna get got, I guess.
Well, it's not just that. Like, didn't Mike PA also say on stream, like, if you live in Florida, I have like $10,000 to give
yes,
you.
that also happened.
When talking
that
about
was a while ago.
Destiny,
but
so
I guess
it's relevant.
Yeah, I don't know. It does seem like there's this weird double standard here, where they can simply talk openly about you getting hurt or killed, and if you simply make any kind of sideways statement that he's going to harass us, he's going to dox us, he's going to destroy us, he's going to kill us, we need to do everything in our power to keep away from him. And yeah, that's a big problem. I don't know how to fix that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think Mike should be going on Twitter and saying like, when's it going to happen to Steve? I don't think that's
but yeah,
sorry. Yeah, I don't think they should be doing that at all.
He was I did specifically invite him if he wanted to, because he said it was easy to beat you in a debate, Destiny. And so I invited him and said you were going to be on today, and that after we were done with the main content, I'd be happy to host a debate between you two. I don't think he's going to show, but he might. We'll see.
Okay, so these are two separate comments, but the first one is him reading a chat comment calling me like they're calling him the Democratic Jake Lang. And then this was, if you followed any of the recent news, I think this was after Jake Lang got famously beat up or whatever at some event. I don't even know what the fuck.
Okay, I'll show him up. Hold on.
I'm gonna go. It was nice.
Yeah,
seeing
no,
you
thanks for
all
being here.
again.
Bye, Beach.
Yeah, if you
I'm
guys
sad
need
we
to
didn't
leave, I
get in.
understand.
Ah,
But
Wait,
down
why?
simple
That doesn't.
mind.
Why does he? Is that the guy who got beat up because he was at like a Democratic thing and he was just walking down the street and they were like punching him or something?
okay.
Maybe, I don't even know.
It was like a
Yeah.
pride parade or something.
Okay,
was
here's
the
the first
protest
link I
after
got
the
sent. Let's see what he says. This is 3 days ago.
They're calling D the Dem Jake Lang. In defense of Laura, she does not have a Nazi kid, so she has spare time.
This?
Fair.
Oh.
Centrists are defending Pestany too. Yeah, I saw that.
Did he already say it?
That you were the
Yeah.
the Dem Jake
Yeah, that was it.
Lang.
That was it. Yeah,
Okay, that
just
was
calling it
one.
the Democratic Jake Lang, I guess. Yeah.
And here's the other one.
Waiting.
Give me a second. I want to make
Bro,
sure I
that
don't
outfit
have
is so like that triggers me so much. I hate the fact he wears that. Like
That's why he wears it.
it's like a somebody wore like a Nazi like or a Hitler like outfit. Like
Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Why are you even around Jake Lang? Like, this dude is a straight up white supremacist, possibly a federal agent, right? Why would you ever give them a platform at all?
In the belly of the
He has
beast.
entered the chat.
Minneapolis knows how to deal with Jake Lang. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, okay, that's it basically.
Okay. Yeah, I think
So
we
he's
can
like
put 2 to 2 together.
approving of violence in Minneapolis on Twitch.tv.
Yeah, I still think the crazier clip was him watching that Scott Wiener dude getting harassed and basically just cheering it all on. That was fucking wild. But like, it is annoying too that like these guys get like Hasan is not at risk of anything. He doesn't go to any dangerous place. He doesn't do any dangerous shit. And then I'm out here. Those events after Charlie got assassinated were especially that first one was pretty nerve wracking. I wasn't 100% sure if, especially that guy screaming outside. I was like, I don't know, man. But so to have him like talking all this shit, and then when I'm constantly the guy who's getting dinged for like Destiny says that we need more violence, I was like, bro, I'm gonna be the first guy to fucking die. Like, no, I don't want there to be more violence here. But it's annoying that every other political actor in this space, Trump and all the MAGA people included, and then all the lefty types like Hasan, like engage in unlimited harassment with absolutely zero like accountability, and Twitch doesn't enforce anything. Like Twitch allows these people, what is this, the 5th or 6th or 7th time that I've been, had some type of death threat made against me by the random weirdos on this platform? I don't know. it's just
Sean
fucking
DeBlack,
weird to me.
that really short guy. What the
Oh,
Gremlo, that's
Gremlo,
the
I
little
think.
gremlin's name, right?
Mhm.
Like
So
I'm taller than that
it's also really
motherfucker.
like
Okay.
learning as well. It's worth noting as well that they can do all of that and they can operate with no accountability. But if they ever do have to face accountability, they have to face the accountability as like a Democrat and not what they actually are. So even if they do get on for their actions, like it reflects on the rest of us, which don't hold those views.
Well, that's part of the problem, right? And it's kind of like they're holding us hostage in a way. Because one of the reasons that people don't want to punch left is because they fear they're going to make the Democratic brand look bad. They're going to be like, well, we can't really talk about this right now. We can't really confront this right now because people are going to think that the Democrats have been entirely infected with commies and things like that, which isn't true, right? Most Democrats aren't communists. Most Democrats aren't these socialist people, right? They're just not. But they worry that if they are going to call out people like Hasan, people like that Gremlo, people like Mike from BA, they're going to be seen as attacking Democrats. And this is what they're basically holding us hostage, saying, if you target us, if you speak out against us, we have kind of branded ourselves or been branded by the right wing as Democrats, so you're going to hurt yourselves doing this. So you have to kind of take a hit if you want to do this. And it's honestly a really good strategy, and I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know. Okay.
Kind of annoying,
Well,
yeah.
I think you deal with it by like making the separation just as obvious as you possibly can. Just separate their actions from us because they are not us. They will never be us. But like they're a virus, so they're going to try to attach themselves to us. But the only way that we can deal with it is by making sure that they understand and that the world understands. More importantly, that they're not us. They're not liberal. They're illiberal people, and they need to be ejected from all of our liberal spaces.
A little bit. Also, you also have to kind of start to play. I know people hated me for this for a long time, but I don't give a fuck. You have to play by their rules, which is the thing I've been doing more and more with my community. Like I have like my Clipper army now is like really active on Twitter. We're more active like brigading and commenting in spaces and pushing our message because like it's the only thing. And then like being a lot more open about talking about all this weird like snarker stuff and connecting Gisticle and Hasan. And even if sometimes it feels like they're winning on some talking points, like I mean, if anybody has followed this space for long enough, you know that like Hasan hates bringing up my name. He hates talking about me. So even if it feels bad that he's literally just now watching straight gistical streams on his stream, the fact that he's had to resort to that is like killing him inside. Like he doesn't want to talk about this shit ever. So I think it's working. I think he's feeling a lot of
Yeah,
pressure.
it would hurt me to have to watch JStalk contents too.
Yeah.
Like it would be
Yeah.
it would be physically painful. That's why that's one of the things that I can't do react content because it just I watch it and one of two things happens. I get really annoyed because they're being, or it's just boring. And I'm like, why am I watching this? I have other things to do. But
should I start like crying and stuff? Like when Steven's like, sorry, not Steven, Hasan's like watching my restraining order clip and he's like trying to like paint an image of me. Like, what am I supposed to do to like combat? Like, I'm honestly like, I'm down to like stand on 10 toes, but like,
Start
I
talking
like,
about rape or something. Like you know.
like
Well,
I'm like,
that's
the only
what
thing, if
makes
we're
it.
gonna start just like slashing people's characters, I'm just gonna start going to events that you're at. I'm gonna start saying that you're like raping girls in brothels. If we're just gonna shit fling each other,
Real.
like I'm just gonna start shit flinging as well. But like I said, I'm not gonna like sit there and like be a pussy and not like, you know, just
Yeah,
bring
it's
it to your
just hard
face.
because on our side, there's like hand wringing anytime you engage in any behavior that's even remotely similar. But like these guys, like Hasan is no holds bar. Like he's literally going full into the mat. Like this guy has called me a pedophile, like probably
Every single
over
day
a
for the past
thousand
few
times.
months.
Yeah, like literally over 1,000 times this year, like at least. And the idea that the fact that he gets away with that, but if you engage with anything even remotely close, and I've had this feedback even from people, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like you just don't get it. Like, oh, I don't know why why don't you just ignore this guy on Twitter? Or like, I think that, you know, you're going too hard, or this is, and it's like, you just don't understand like on the other side of this, like what we're dealing with. And there's nobody, you're never going to see, you will never, ever in your life see a Majority Report episode where Emma is like, I don't know about Hasan talking about this thing. I feel like that was a little bit of a low blow. Or I don't know about, you know, like the way that he conducts. So there's no, they operate the same way that Mega does. There's no accountability on their side, and so they can act however they want, and they benefit from it.
Yeah, I'll be real, just real quick. I'll be real. Like when a year ago, I was like, man, Destiny's probably overblowing this. This doesn't seem real. Okay, this sounds fake. It sounded fake. It sounded like you were over exaggerating things. It sounded like you were making things up. That this was just being like personal petty and it's like, oh, he's just overblowing it. But since I've gotten deeper into it and seen the kind of behaviors that they engage in, right? No, I'm convinced now. I was wrong. And yeah, it's insane the links that they will go to.
Yeah, and then just to reiterate, like the closest friends in my life that like trusted me as much as anybody in my life could had a similar view where they were like I'm sure that there's like a degree of harassment, but probably because I'm like in the space so much, like I'm a little bit
I thought there was some
paranoid.
harassment.
Yeah,
going
there's
on.
some,
Like,
but it's like I'm probably like overblowing it a lid and maybe downplaying like on my side what DGG is doing or whatever. But there'll be like a moment or something. It might be one was watching or seeing a lot of the outcome of like the Lauren De Laguna deposition, or seeing stuff come out about other figures in the space, and then seeing how connected everything was. Like at some point there'll be a moment where like, oh shit, that's kind of fucking weird. The day after, like anytime I bring up certain people on stream for the first time, all of a sudden their docs appears the next day in Kiwi Farms, and then people in Jiskal Space and these snarker servers are talking about it. And yeah, it's the level of coordination is crazy. I mean, like just imagine the idea that Hasan Piker is the largest leftist streamer on the planet, the largest leftist streamer, socialist streamer, and he's watching and retweeting and actively engaging on his stream in front of 34,000 people or whatever, with a guy who is spending that entire night with a guy called Morale, like snarking and stalking and being weird about a bunch of girls and guys on like midnight streams. Like it's just like it's just such a weird, unfathomable, like it's the type of thing that people would envision like I'm doing, and they would say like, Destiny, you got to be above this. Like you're like, you don't need to be engaging in this style of content. But like this is like what Hasan is actually legitimately seriously doing. It's just like crazy. Yeah.
But he
like,
did.
It's even worse.
The other day that like he was like liking the substance tweets. He's like commenting under this guy's tweets. It was like, how the fuck do you even know these people?
But he's been doing this for a long time with like Substance, J-Stock, Queenman as well. Like for the past few months.
Doobie showed the likes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's even worse because with that Morale person specifically, I'm 99% sure that they're like a pedophile. There's leaked audio of them requesting nudes from
a lot of them have weird shit. That Doobie guy's got a lot of weird shit.
Yeah. I feel like these people either they only can go after children, or they can only go after mentally impaired people, so that they can bring them to Canada and give them into a mental institution after they have sex with them. But don't worry about that.
And milk them for content on stream.
True.
One of the things that happened today, and I saw this, the Vanguard boys. I don't know if you've seen this, but
Hmm.
they said that you were kids, that you kids. They called you a pedophile live on stream.
That's pretty
Who
crazy.
did?
I might have reported that, but yeah,
That
that's
is
pretty crazy. I saw that.
Can you send me that link so I can report it as well?
It's just insane what people feel comfortable lying about other people, just making up out of whole cloth, no evidence, just because they do not like you, and simply pedojacketing someone like that. That
But
is
this is
insane.
why I said before, and Hasan and other people try to blow this coming up, where I was like, I feel like the next step is somebody's going to die in this space. Like, I mean, somebody already has technically. Charlie Kirk was like part of this space. But when you're calling people like you're a genocide supporter, you're a pedophile child rapist, you are abusing women all day, you have a sex cult where all you do is try to rape women and be pro-Zionist and pro-genocide, I was like, what the fuck else is there for people to do? Like we've maxed out on this rhetorical ceiling for like at least a year. Like where the do you go from here besides like mass physical violence or not mass, but any kind of physical violence at an event?
Yeah, there was a woman I invited to come with us to LibCon, like one of my followers and things that wanted to show up at LibCon and things like that. And she was talking to other creators about going to LibCon, and they were telling her not to go. She would get right.
Jesus
That is
Christ.
the kind of things that they are spreading. Right? Is that if you go to
LibCon
LibCon,
was literally like 80% people over 40. So I don't know why the hell they're spreading that.
well, because
That's
DGG was
insane.
there,
Because
right?
DGG
I
And
was there,
guess.
yeah.
was
Jesus
gonna,
Christ.
DDG.
yeah.
And then it's especially, and then just to reiterate, like, because I'm focused so much more on the media ecosystem now than the actual facts, the fact that Hasan had that fan that gave him that core in Michigan, at Michigan State or whatever, who got arrested for calling in terrorist threats to like 12 different restaurants, that's just insane that nobody talks about it, nobody cares, there's zero accountability. That's fucking wild.
How could he have known?
Hasan tweeted this on the 18th. He called you a 40-year-old pest with a child,
Based.
openly live streams intent to harass a speaker at an event he wasn't invited to, and fails to disrupt, proceeds to dox and slander the event organizers. Incredible.
I read
half
that
of
tweet. Almost
that.
like every single part of that tweet is a lie. It wasn't a private event. It was an open event. That's why we bought tickets for it. I didn't dox anybody. I just named the guy who was listed on their website as the vice president. He identified himself to me as the vice president.
It's 2
I didn't
clicks.
slander anybody. Yeah, it's just stupid.
The first half of that tweet, I thought he was talking about Mike from PA, actually.
Based.
Fair enough. I guess,
I
do
just,
we
I
give
just
any...
want to know.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I want to know why is Hasan okay with them kicking out Palestinians from political conventions? Because I am
Wow.
Palestinian. You know,
Good
that's,
job.
that's all I want to say. But
Thank you, Radiant.
no problem.
You're
No
brave.
problem.
Okay, there's something I want to talk about with this College Democrat event
Go
that
ahead.
I don't think has been brought up enough. It's not just Hasan who's invited there that was like insane. That Deja Fox lady that I interviewed, she was also like really, really weird. She was talking. We didn't really live stream. I think we live streamed a portion of her talk, and I think it might have been in that live stream of her talking about like, oh, if I couldn't be a Democrat, I wouldn't. I would be like a part of another like leftist organization. But sadly, I'm a part of the Democratic Party, and I know everyone listening here feels this exact same way. And it was like, is this your pro-Democrat event that we're having here? That we have people the Democratic Party as part of their sort of like speaking thing. And Wick, I linked you a 6-minute video in DMs. This is me talking to her, and she confirms this as well.
Yeah.
If
Do
you
you
wanna
have
go
like
for
a
that.
timestamp? It's 6 minutes. I don't know if...
It's 6 minutes. I don't have a timestamp. Fuck.
Okay, 6 minutes is a long time for content, right? Like...
Well, don't worry. I'll find it
Okay,
later.
we'll do another day. $20 from Per Thompson. Is it valuable to email the CDA management and complain about this insane, cowardly actions they took? I did, as well as emailing my Democratic senators. Does it make a difference to continue to ask them to respond?
Yeah, I think it's always good for voices to be heard. It's always good to have people that are emailing and saying something, so at least there's like something on the record, and they can't just pretend that like, well, we didn't hear anything because there wasn't anything that was actually sent via email or some kind of like paper trail of stuff. Yeah, so it's always
I
good to
emailed in.
email either.
10 Wick TV gift memberships from Odashara. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you. $10 from Misaki Uchinaga. More mooks. Okay. Well, we can, for $10, we can do that. $5 for my listening
I
library.
really impressed that smile, man. I don't know. Oh wait, well, here's what I'm actually have a great idea. I've been thinking about this for a while. Why don't we just all? I realized I'm unbanned on Twitch. Why don't I just go? Why don't I just protest at TwitchCon? That's like
You
probably
will
the
100% get banned. You should do it
that's
though. It would be funny
I was
as long as you don't start. You can't actually start trouble or do any
yeah
retarded shit.
yeah.
But
So
you
I
just
was
show up. I
I
bet
was
Hasan would beg them to ban you.
I'm like thinking like what can I
I'm with
do?
you,
Like
I'm with you.
if it's a protest about a specific person that might be considered harassment. So I don't know if like I'm supposed to do like a protest for like the anti-Jew stuff there, or how I would go about doing it that doesn't directly name Hassan Piker that wouldn't result in my account getting banned.
I got
You
a
could do like
question.
Palestinians against Hasan. It would make them look terrible.
Are you going to
Okay, what's
be
this
going to
Hassan?
any future Hasan events, Steven?
I mean, it really just depends on what shows up. Like for most of them, I just wouldn't have a reason to be there. Like I'm not going to be at a fuck El Said, like press conference or something. Or yeah,
But
I don't
like a
even know what else.
Democratic event or whatever. Like if he's
If
like
it's a
talking
Democratic
at the
event-
DNC, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a Democratic event, I would like to be there, considering I put a lot of my time and effort or resources into supporting the Democratic Party. So
Good.
Have you endorsed anyone for the Michigan primary at all, or any primaries, or do you not do that? I'm really curious.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would prefer Stevens to El Said, the fake doctor guy, but I mean, I probably prefer El Said to Collins, obviously, because the Republicans are crazy. But
You got to mix it up. Collins is in man.
Collins.
or
Is,
not Collins.
Rogers, I think, is the guy. And
Yeah, whoever the fuck. Yeah,
I could be
Rogers.
wrong.
Sorry.
Okay, $5
Wait,
for my
did we ever
listening.
replace? Did we ever replace Vladimir?
Not yet. Oh wait, yeah, I think we actually did. I think we did.
With the Troy guy, or
The Troy. I think the Troy.
Yeah,
guy
I'm not. I the problem I have with Troy Jackson, and first of all, he's an improvement to Plattner because as far as I know, he hasn't anyone, so that's
Jesus.
leg up on that. But he comes from that same crowd, and he was one of the early backers of Plattner. So I don't know about his judgment, but I think he's still someone you should vote for in the general. But
Better than
I am
Plattner.
just kind of side-eyeing him a little bit. So yeah. $5 for my listening library. How are Dems supposed to go forward if these Democrat quote-unquote groups are giving in to the far left, allowing them to reinvent what they are to the populace?
They can't. It's simple.
You have to
gotta-
disavow and make your own group, or take them back in like a voting way. Yeah.
Sure.
Good luck.
$5 from Alishness. I was confused because Hasan thought the event was primarily about him. Imagine there were other things happening. They derailed the event for him? Question mark. Well, thank you for the $5.
What are you gonna do?
$10 from Bad Company. People were up in arms when the uncommitted movement wasn't given time to speak at the DNC after their protest rally bombed. Now we're banning staunchly pro-Dems from Dem events, and no one bats an eye. Though,
Not good.
to be clear, I am seeing a lot of pushback on this, at least on Twitter. Van Jones spoke up about it. Not this specifically, but leftists in general infiltrating things.
Mhm.
David Pakman spoke about it specifically. And I've seen people like Shannon Watts on Twitter and others, Sarah Ironside, a few others just who are pretty big Democratic influencers just really go against this. So that's
what we need to make sure that we
good.
do is not immediately move off of this in the next 2 days. We need to keep talking about it, how we got banned from an event and how we couldn't go to a Democratic event and how Hasan literally stopped us. It needs to have a
And
bit
also-
longer of a life cycle than a day or two.
And
I
also,
feel
it
like the
can't
media
be.
life cycles are always going to be small. It's just important to remember it, and it just there has to be more fixation when there's like weird happening from like the radical flank of the party. I think.
It can't be a tacit endorsement. It has to be like open, avowed, and it needs to be public by anybody who feels some sort of way about this. It can't be like in the background, like, "Hey, I saw this happen." Kind of fucked up, man. You talk about it. Use your platform.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
that was
needs to
probably
be
one of the
more, like-
weirdest things I've ever experienced was like seeing the Hasan stuff, hearing his name. That was like a internet becomes real life moment. I was not expecting any of that.
Fair enough.
If
$5.
anyone would like to protest with me, please contact me. I'm going to be trying to attend every Hasan event that exists. And I know if I have the backing of
Peacefully
smarter
and
people than
patriotically,
me.
right?
Peacefully, I'm always peaceful, dude. Listen, I don't get active unless someone gets active with me. There's nothing happening there, so there's nothing to worry about. So, I mean, it's be fine. But if anybody would like to involve themselves with this and, get in my 2013 Hyundai Elantra with a lot of dog hair in it, I'm down to put you in the back seat and we can go. You can go. Just let me
Maybe
know.
we'll get you.
I need
Maybe
to-
we'll get you in anything else sponsorship.
Yeah.
Oh, we could be Antifa. Like it's like Antifa, but get it? It's like
Okay.
Antifa. You guys
$5.
get the
Let
joke?
me make a little more money, okay? $5 from the average Jake L. With Trump being as unpopular as he is, and the right dealing with infighting, wouldn't now be a good time to punch left?
Yeah, I need to even stop cooking out. I tell other people to stop cooking out. Even I still cook out too much. The time to infight is now, right? We have an election that we're almost certainly going to win because of how unbelievably unpopular Donald Trump is, and we're still in the primary season. So, like, if there was ever a time to solidify, who is the Democratic Party and what does the Democratic Party stand for, like, now is the time to do it. So, if now is not the time to infight, when the fuck is the time to infight? It's like never the time to infight, according to leftists who are always infighting.
No, it's okay to infight if it's towards the establishment, but it's not okay to punch them specifically. $10 from protest.
And then also, I'm sorry, just keep in mind two other quick points. I'm sorry. One, all of this stops as soon as they stop, right? Like I've said this a million times, and if anybody's followed my stream for any appreciable amount of time, I don't like to do the crazy drama style content anymore. I just want to reach it and debate all the points and read the Supreme Court cases. These are the things that are more fun and entertaining to me. As much as I hate them, even dealing with the Ryan Mulale's or the Rob Noors is more entertaining to me than a guy who's just going to infinitely project his own pedophilic obsession onto other people or whatever, or is just going to keep calling me a pedophile over and over and over and over and over again. It's just not a fun way to do politics, and it's sinking the entire base by forcing everybody to engage at this level. And all of it stops as soon as Hasan and other leftists are like, hey guys, I don't think this is the way to go anymore. For whatever you say about it, El Sayed or Talarico have had to say, right, where they're telling their online fans, hey, you guys got to chill the fuck out. Nobody wants to do politics like this. And it makes it impossible to come together after the primaries when you've engaged in the most vitriolic type of harassment and attack campaigns ever that you don't even do against MAGA,
True. I'll say this for later. Okay, protest case for $10. Destiny. Why are you going after the Lib News guy? To use your analogies, you want them to worry about a mole that's potentially cancerous, while Trump is literally mid.
Okay, I don't know what the...
Okay.
I think the argument is why are you
I
punching
think that-
left when Trump is in power? So, yeah.
I understand it, but it's like saying why are you changing the tire in your car when you have cancer and you need to go get your chemo? And it's well, I have to drive to the hospital to fuck there. I agree that Trump is the biggest threat, but if the left flank of our party prohibits us from even doing politics for real because we're constantly having to fend off these weird accusations of, bro, I'm so sorry, but the idea that in an official DNC event we have a guy dressed cosplaying as now who just. Dude, and I know that they'll never actually go after Hasan because he's such good controlled opposition for the Republicans, and they know this. The tanky SDSA people know this as well. But can you imagine the nonstop ads if this guy were anywhere near actual Democratic politicians? Of here's a guy who went to China, he got the little red Mao book, he came back saying he would never criticize Mao, and he bought one of his suits to give commie speeches to at a college Democrat event. It's so
crazy,
fucking insane.
man.
It's so
The DNC
crazy.
event.
I might have an actual ogre giant in front of me that I need to fight, and there could be a 4-foot dude behind me. But if the guy's got a knife in my back, I have to turn around and deal with that guy before you deal with the problem in front of you. You can't do it fighting all fronts at all points in time. It's insane.
Yeah, I think that people need to understand that by not addressing this problem, it makes it harder for us to win the election. Beating the illiberal left is a necessary condition to beating MAGA long term and short term as well. This idea that we cannot ever address the cancer in our party. The best time to deal with cancer is when it's small, before it gets bigger, before it metastasizes, before it spreads. Get it out now. It's a lot less effort. Ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. Isn't that what they say? But yeah, that's my thoughts. $5 from Alishness. Not punching left is how you get things like MAGA. We need to be externally as well as inwardly responsible because fringe groups will ruin movements. Pacman spoke about that in his segment today, and
Look at QAnon, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, it ruined them. It hollowed them out. And instead of embracing our crazies like MAGA did, or the Republicans did with MAGA, we need to kick them out. It's just crazy.
And look at somebody brought this up in chat. It's a good point. Mamdani running in New York City against a guy who was accused of sex harassment. He had to disavow Hasan Piker. Imagine, and I hope it wouldn't get to that point, but how many errors can we absorb between the Plattner shenaniganery and all of these crazy, wacky DSA type statements, and now Hasan. Like, imagine Ossoff or these other politicians that are more on the national stage. Like, I never thought the Plattner stuff would hurt Tallarico, but like all of this stuff, like more and more and more of it, like I don't know, man. Like, if nobody is saying anything about it, that's the damaging thing, and that's the problem. Like, I look at Josiah did a video earlier criticizing Bill Maher for saying that he would vote for Vance because he wasn't sure about the extremists in the Democratic Party, which, in my opinion, is fucking stupid. Bill Maher, but like I can sympathize with a median voter who looks at the Democratic Party and it's like, okay, well, you've got a bunch of people who are literally saying like Hamas are the good guys, and none of you guys seem willing to say anything about it. And the second you do, you get your head bit off by every single alternative media commentator. I don't know. That's kind of spooky.
Agreed. $5 from General Grievous. The tankies in the college Dems are BSing. If you had broken the rules, they had the right to keep your money, but they know you didn't, and they're wrong. Yeah, like the reason I know that Hasan's full of shit is if he really believed that Destiny and Co. were going to disrupt the event, he would have let them do it, got that on tape, and sent it to every organization, every event organizer, and gotten him banned not just from that one event, but from every single event in the future. It would be a good casus belli or a reason, right, in order to say, hey, look, everything we've been saying about this guy is true, and here's the evidence. This is what we said he'd do it. This is what he did. Here you go. And it would have been such a massive win. But they didn't actually believe he was going to do that. They just used it as an excuse. I don't know. That's it's just obvious.
And I think if they were really scared about it, then they wouldn't be speaking about it on stream the way that they do so publicly. Because if you're actually scared about somebody like stalking and harassing you, you wouldn't be like publicly
covering it
talking about
every
as much,
single
yeah.
day. Yeah. You would be more like the people in MySpace that have disappeared because they're worried about all the crazy shit that goes on, which has happened with several people. Yeah.
Yeah. There are, I won't say who, but there are people who have said, hey, I can't come on your stream right now anymore. I'm going to be targeted if I do. Or they feel that that's going to be the case. And yeah, it sucks and it hurts look, I make my money by having guests on. It really hurts when they're like, we can't do it right now. And that sucks.
So they're fucking with your money then.
Which it's not good business. That's not good business. It's not good business. Dev, you're here. What did you want to?
Hello. I've been
Yeah.
listening, taking notes. I would have loved to have been with LibCon with you guys, but one, I'm poor, and two, I'm in the middle of moving. So that's occupied pretty much all my time right now. The bright side of that is that in my new place, I'll actually have a dedicated studio space so I can be around more often, which will be nice. I don't have much to say about the specific Hasan kicking you guys out conversation. But when it comes to socialists subverting liberal movements, I've been talking about this since like the anti-SJW days, like 10 years ago, right? There was a liberal faction of the Gamergate and the anti-SJW stuff. It wasn't just reactionary leftists. But nearly every liberal person that was a part of that scene in the 2010s, they either moved extremely far left, like Actual Jake or The Amazing Atheist or Thunderfoot, or they moved extremely far right, like Sargon or Tim Pool. As far as I can tell, there's only two anti-SJWs that remained liberal. That was me and Kraut. That was it. And basically what happened was that the socialists subverted liberal spaces and movements, and then they tossed the liberals out of them. And the people who remained were either convinced by the socialists to join them, or they decided to become the complete opposite of whoever had mistreated them, because for most people, politics is just a social group. So since this is
I would add two more people to these lists, and then I would add an important thing at the end for what happens is, so there was Crowd and you. There was also, I would argue, I think Thunderfoot didn't get totally captured by it.
Right? I think he did, but he's kind of gone now, though.
Yeah, but like he was like anti-SJW, but I don't think he ever bought into like the crazy, like the Brexit MAGA shit, right?
I don't think so, no, but he did become a socialist eventually.
Did he? Thunderfoot is a socialist?
I think so.
I got no idea.
Maybe we're thinking of different people.
Thunderfoot, the guy who would make the videos on like electric cars and Elon Musk and science stuff?
Let me look him up real quick.
I don't think he did. You got to be thinking of somebody different. But there was him.
Might be.
And then also the guy who was recording on his balcony when somebody broke in and tried to shotgun and kill him and his girlfriend.
Oh, Hunter Avalon.
Hunter Avalon also, I think, was like I think he was against like the SJW but he kind of like became like a liberal, but not like a
Yeah,
hardcore
he was right wing, and
Yeah.
then he had like a
Yeah.
liberal change. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
But
Yes,
these
yes.
people's careers are basically, I'm sure even for you, Dev, like it hurts. Like it's very, very hard to switch sides. Like there's definitely no financial reward for it.
Nope.
From maintaining any kind of like left leaning belief if you weren't on board fully with the SJW stuff. Like you basically lost your whole career.
I'll be honest, I've lost about 80% of my audience over the past 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it is. But yes. So since this has all kind of happened before, I do want to let you guys know there's a few bitter pills that libs need to swallow to make sure this doesn't happen again. You might not want to hear this, but I can prove everything I'm going to say.
Okay, you guys ready to swallow some pills? Listen
Swallow
up,
some
North.
bitter
Okay.
pills.
pills,
The first one, I've written down 3 of them. Okay, the first one is that despite being a right-wing nut job, McCarthy actually had a point. We can recognize the problem of socialist infiltration in the United States for the past 50 years without resorting to his crazy levels of conspiracism. I know, Destiny, you've mentioned McCarthyism in the past as being a bit daunting to look at. If it's too much to bite
I was
off,
worried about digging into it because I don't want to be like, oh, fuck, this guy was actually right about everything. Because people are going to add it to my list of contrarian takes or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to start somewhere more recent, look at Chaz, right? Because Chaz was not as bad as J6.
Fucking Christ.
But Chaz does belong in the same bucket as J6 in terms of just how much it shredded institutional credibility. And in my experience, Democrats are just ignorant of what happened with Chaz. If you actually look at what happened there and how the Democrats on the ground turned a blind eye to the violence, the multiple killings that happened, the mass destruction of property, the anarchy, simply because it was far lefties doing it, and everyone was afraid of punching left right after George Floyd.
Can we get a quick explanation of what the Chaz thing is?
I think so. Basically, they decided that in Seattle, what did Chaz stand for? Something autonomous.
Capitol Hill
the
occupied
something zone. Yeah.
Yeah, Capitol Hill occupied protest.
Stuff.
They decided to create a semi-autonomous region in the United States in Seattle where there would be like no government, no cops, and they would all do like mutual aid and figure out their own shit. And basically, obviously, this went exactly as you would expect. I think there was a ton of like rioting, looting, crime, and then I think eventually 1 or 2 people got murdered, and then they had to say, okay, this is enough. We gotta stop this. Yeah.
It lasted a month, and it was like 6 people that got murdered.
Was it 6? I thought it was like 1 or 2 got killed at once, and then they were like, oh damn. Okay.
Oh no! There was 2 killings like right off the bat, and then the city still remained pulled out of the zone for like 3 more weeks.
So anarchy didn't work.
No,
anarchy did not
like,
work.
the
It was
way
like
that they dealt with these guys was like they like gave them. I think they gave them like 30 days. They're like, well, let's let these guys like get it out of their system and everything. It was just cringe. It was just too much. It was too much cringe. This is like off the back of my. This is where my one fiery, impassioned rant came from. Where I was like, listen, man, if people think it's acceptable to fuck torch buildings or whatever, and you got to bring in whatever white nationalist people with assault rifles to defend their property. That was where that came from. Is because the country was literally losing its mind, and that people couldn't just. That's where you got that iconic. Everyone knows the CNN guy. I think it was a black on the ground reporter who was saying, like, "Oh, I'm reporting here from Kenosha," and the Chiron or whatever was like fiery but peaceful protest with the car dealership on fire in the background.
Yep. I remember that. Yeah,
it was just like
right when you're still posted today. They still post it today.
Catastrophic. And then in San Francisco, they did come back from this because liberals do correct, but it's just so goofy. In San Francisco, they had this like. I don't want to say crime-friendly approach, but it was like, listen, like, do we really need to be jailing people? We're going to make it so unless you steal like a certain amount, it doesn't count as a misdemeanor or something. And
it was $950. Yeah.
Yeah, and what happens? Obviously, you get mass like organized retail theft and you have all these videos of like 50 people rushing a store to pull as much as they can and run out, and it was so stupid and wild, and everybody was defending this. Sam Cedar and Hasan Piker and Cenk Uygur, I remember all of them. They gave the exact same script because they basically what happened is they started shutting down stores in San Francisco, and all of them ran the same script. They said capitalists like to shut down businesses in majority black neighborhoods because they're racist, and they're just giving retail theft as like an excuse to do it. And they would cite the crime statistics. I remember this article will live in my head forever. They cited the crime statistics that showed that the amount of actual theft that was happening at stores wasn't increasing at all. So they were just like lying about closing the stores down. And then the store owners were saying, well, we just stopped reporting it because like the cops wouldn't even come and it just wasn't worth it. There was one target in San Francisco where the police tried installing like an emergency call button. A single target got an emergency call button. And in 1 month, that one target reporting theft doubled the reported theft rate for the entire city of San Francisco. It was
From
insane.
that one button.
That one target reporting theft doubled the reported theft crime in all of San Francisco. And then finally, I think they kicked out the it would have been the district attorney, not the AG. I think the DA for the city or whatever. And then because they were like, this is we need to be able to recognize this a little bit faster. It shouldn't take you that long to realize maybe theft is not good. Maybe guys.
The problem is
the reason I brought up Chaz specifically is because it was a month-long occupation where basically the sovereign, duly elected government of the city just pulled out and didn't administer 6 blocks of the city for a full month. And it was Democrats who did this. It was Democrats who turned a blind eye to this, and this cannot happen again. This was a canary in the coal mine for what we're facing right now, in my opinion.
I think that it's connected to how they operate, right? It's impossible to cover any of the excesses of the left because, again, the same playbook, Trump's more important. Republicans are more important to deal with that, right? You're just punching left and you need to stop doing it. But these incidents, these events, these failures of leftist policy hurt us electorally because we are seen as the party that enabled it or did it. And leftists ain't winning elections, but the elections that we try to run in get hurt because of them, and it's hard to deal with. It's hard.
One thing policy-wise is a small prediction I'm making. I don't know how this will play out on the WO. Is I think everybody should pay attention to what gerrymander fights look like because I'm curious and I don't know how many DSA types will even get into Congress. Maybe it'll only be a few, but I'd be curious if the DSA people give a fuck about fighting about gerrymandering because gerrymandering is another institutional thing that only hurts moderate Dems. Nobody's gerrymandering a DSA seat out of existence. It's only going to be moderate Dem seats in the South. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, have we seen any of these people really speak out about the Texas gerrymandering or anything like that? I haven't
kept track of it. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
I've got 2 more pills, or do you want to go ahead, North?
Wait, I want to say one more thing.
One more thing, and then give us the next pill. We'll swallow it too. Don't worry.
Sure.
Okay. We keep talking about left-right divides, and I feel like the framing needs to be reoriented a little bit. It shouldn't be just left-right because what the leftists do is they'll take that left-right divide and they'll say, oh, we're all on the left, so that's why we should be supporting each other. It should be liberal versus illiberal. I feel like that should be the framing right now. Sadly, it feels like most of the Republican Party is they're very illiberal right now. And then we see these people, these leftists, and they're also very illiberal. And I feel like we need to reorient ourselves a little bit because people can get very brain broken when it comes to these people are on the right, so they don't have the correct opinion.
I actually agree with that.
Like Chaz and all that.
Yeah, see, I agree with that, North. The problem is that when you have when you label a faction, the illiberals, you're defining them by what they aren't rather than what they are, and it's kind of hard to make a united faction around that rhetorically.
A little. I think there's actually 2 quick problems. One is that people actually don't know what liberal means in the United States. I don't know why we did this. Well, actually, every country does this. We all just say we use different terms for different things. We have the liberals and the conservatives. So when you talk about liberalism, even Trump made this mistake. It was humiliating. I think it was in Berlin where somebody asked him do you think that Western style liberalism is failing? And Donald Trump was like, I think Western style liberalism has absolutely failed. Look at how many homeless people are in California and Seattle. And it's very obvious that he thought that his liberalism in his mind was just liberals. Yeah, the Democrats, yeah. So I think it's hard to hit on that perspective. I think the second perspective that's hard to hit on is something that I've complained about for a long time that it's just a fight I lost and other people have lost, is people have spent so long calling people like Vosh and Hasan, obviously, and other people have spent so long saying Republicans are fascists. They're all fascists. These guys are fascists. These guys are Nazis. These guys are fascists. That now when you have I am so sorry. I hope that history judges us harshly, but ICE killing U.S. citizens and then being taken away by the federal government with no investigation is the craziest, most un-American shit. We're having political assassinations in this country. It's just crazy. And the president of the United States can't say anything about it. It's so wild on so many different levels. But the Nazi and the fascist words, they don't really mean anything, right? They're still being used by the leftists to describe everybody. They describe the whole Democratic Party that way. And people have been calling, George Bush and everybody fascists and whatever for years. So it's it's hard to say okay, we need to talk about these guys. They're illiberal, they're fascists. But for real this time. And it's Yep. Even the abolish ICE is hard now. I think there's really good justification now, and I'm fully on board. And even with all the baggage, I abolish ICE. I think it has to happen. It's just so tainted.
Yeah,
as an institution now.
The
but
institution
my God,
has,
even that carries so much baggage with it because of how abused it was in the past.
This actually relates pretty well to my second pill that I have written down here. Second one, cultural Marxism is a real phenomenon. It's not a fascist conspiracy theory. People don't want to hear that, but it's true. The subversion of various cultural institutions by Marxists is absolutely real. I've personally done several long-form videos documenting the history of these movements. The idea that it's a fascist conspiracy theory is actually one part of a larger program of socialist propaganda dating back to the Soviet Union days. It comes from the same place as fascism is capitalism in decay, libs are the handmaidens of fascism, privatization was coined to describe Nazi economics, the middle class contains within it a particle of Hitler. These all come from Lenin and Trotsky, and they come from a broader program called social fascism, where basically they tried to push forward this idea in their foreign propaganda that anything that isn't explicitly on board with the Soviet project was some flavor of fascism. And even though the Soviets are gone, this rhetoric still remains in our political discourse. I mean, most recently, Vosh has directly and openly said that the socialists should just steal the Democratic Party from the libs, and that anyone who objects to the subversion is a fascist.
I mean, Vosh has said right now that he would vote for J.D. Vance over Gavin Newsom. So did Hasan. Like, these are positions
Yeah.
people unironically hold.
Oh, did
I
you
think
see that Andrew Wilson comic?
Oh no, he makes that guy's weird. He's on some weird.
Yeah,
stuff right
Andrew
now.
Wilson posted a comic and he's fantasizing about Hasan like basically destroying you, and it's this whole like
Oh my
horseshoe
God.
thing. These people.
He's got they got
Andrew
a lot
Wilson
of,
has a lot
I
of
was gonna say-
a lot of fantasies about men destroying other men. Okay, it's
Yeah.
weird.
I was gonna say though something that I would blame for what Dev just talked about. This is the thing that I would blame conservatives on. It's hard to talk about any kind of like Marxist takeover of anything. And I actually run into the same thing now when I try to describe like Hasan or people like ML types, like Marxist Leninists, like these are crazy Stalinist people. I'm sorry, but Jordan Peterson would have called me a cultural Marxist, or he would have said anybody that was talking about like affirmative action was a cultural Marxist. So much the same way that like lefties abuse the out of the fascist term, and I do think that we're easily at the stage right now where in the United States we need to have like serious discussions about what authoritarian ultranationalist takeovers look like. I can't really ring the bell on the Marxist stuff. Like, it rings hollow. Like, I really have to repeat definitions and stuff when I go over it on stream because these guys have been complaining about this for so long in such unnecessary ways that it's kind of like robbed the power of that analysis.
Well, this is one of the things that Hasan is taking advantage of, right? Like,
Yes.
they're like, well,
Yeah,
we just want
because it's
healthcare.
so goofy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but like, I'm thinking back to the Gamergate days, right? Like, there was a talk that Anita Sarkeesian gave in 2015 about internet feminism and video games, and she brought up like various socialist terms and socialist ideas in this talk, and it's like, okay, there's some real critique here. We can point at these people and say, oh, you actually are like Marxist infiltrators and people who are doing subversion, and you're kind of, you know, you're going mask on in public, you're hiding your power level. But the problem with that is that the only people who are actually having that conversation are the most right-wingers on the internet.
Yeah, the issue. Yeah, that was the issue. It was a lot of people who just didn't like to see fucking girls in video games, and then you also had a lot of bad. Yeah, like you said, I'm repeating what you said. Yeah, bad engagement with her critiques and everything too. Yeah.
Okay. Have we all swallowed this second pill? Gulped it down?
Yep.
You got a third
Swallowed
one for
hard.
us? Give us your last
There's one more, yes.
One more.
And this is actually related to that conversation you want me to have with that She's Right girl, Wick. So it's kind of the same kind of thing.
Give us
The
what you
reason that socialists tend to win rhetorical arguments against liberals is because, unlike the conservatives or reactionaries or fascists or monarchists, socialists and liberals appeal to the same set of values. Again, I've heard Vosh say many times in arguments when he argues liberals and sometimes libertarians, he'll say stuff like, "Oh, you guys want freedom or democracy or equality. Well, us socialists actually like those values more, which is why we want to see them extended into the workplace. We want to see these values extended into the private sphere and not just remain kept in the public sphere." I've seen liberals constantly appeal to freedom and equality as the ultimate moral goods, and I've watched these arguments play out before. Liberals are always outflanked on the left when it comes to these values, because socialists, at least on paper, offer more of these values. And the only way out of this trap is you have to understand that there are some values that are more important than freedom and equality. But this is where you start dipping your toes into conservatism, though, like classical conservatism, not whatever the Americans have going right now.
This is semi.
Or rather, I just want to say, wait, real quick on that. Like, it's not that they're more important than freedom and equality, that their values more important than that, but that, like, I take an instrumental approach to things like freedom and equality. Like we have the micro freedoms to ensure like the macro freedoms. And when your micro freedoms are no longer in service to those macro freedoms, then you have to take a step back and analyze like what are we actually doing in society? Like I think that having it so that women should be by their husbands and they feel too much shame to come forth and say anything about it is not a good society. But the answer to that probably isn't at 18 years old. We should just like allow every single girl to do OnlyFans and that's probably super okay and there's going to be no harm or whatever. Like there has to be some balancing act struck here. Like the idea that ultimate freedom of every single possible individual right means that we can, you know, somehow that's like in service to the larger macro concept of freedom is not true. I argue this a lot with like the freedom of speech shit. Obviously, you hear me go off on this. Yeah.
I agree with you, but I think you get that balancing act by having an opposing value on the other side of the
I don't disagree at all. I agreed with Nancy Pelosi. Everybody got triggered when she was like, "We need a strong conservative party." Like I do think that, and it's hard sometimes for liberals to like understand that because like there should be things that are upsetting to me that people in this country believe in, that they have a right to believe in, that I just really don't. I just think is, you know, like I think there's room to have a debate on like, do the 10 Commandments belong in a courthouse? Like, well, you know, in some ways, Judeo-Christian values are the cornerstone, I guess, of all Western law. But like, is it really that specific? Like, we need like about, you know, keeping the God, you know, it's whatever, keeping the Sabbath holy, and you shouldn't have any other gods. Like, I think that's a legitimate argument to have, and I think there should be, like you said, somebody on both sides of that argument. I think that's important to do that. But we can't have people on both sides of like, should ICE get to, you know, summarily execute U.S. citizens? And
well, that's the thing. A strong conservative.
That's not a real. Yeah, that's you can't have. That's not real.
And the reason I agree that we need a strong conservative party because a strong conservative party would have been able to prevent Trump, right?
Yeah,
Trump is not.
But our lefties, bro, dude, look at all the hate. And I'm sorry, she's an American hero, okay? That they gave for the Liz Cheney. And she threw her whole career away to go on that J6 Select Committee with Adam Kinzinger. And
the left gave her nothing for that, by the way. The left still thinks like to her all the way off, right? Like it.
And
if I could step in for a moment, there was.
I do want to get the rest of you involved. Right? I'm going to let you step in, and I have a question for the rest of you. But go ahead.
Just like as one last thing, in I think like 2023 or early 2024, there was a little bit before the election, whenever everybody was more confident about how that election was going to go, and they really shouldn't have been, where the question that was being asked was like, Americans need to kind of step back a little bit and kind of come to a larger consensus about like what they want the future of their country to look like, and more specifically like what it actually means to be an American. And I think that conversation, unfortunately, in the last couple of years has been lost because it's all been like kind of like a reactive sentiment towards Trump instead of trying to figure out where we go from here, because from here now is way different than it was. That's a conversation that I really hope that people get back to.
Yeah,
I agree. For those of you who are less like politically savvy in here, whose kind of main thing isn't politics, what do you see the political landscape like in America when it comes to your interactions? Do the people you interact with talk about these issues at all, or is this something that you only hear when you go into these spaces? I'm curious what Mooks, Radiant, and the rest have to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, people usually don't want to talk about these things with me. I have to find spaces to want to do it. People are really exhausted.
When you say exhausted, what do you mean?
If I make normie friends, or if I make friends like through internet stuff, work, anything like that, then they usually don't want to. They're usually like, "Oh, the news nowadays is so crazy." They don't want to talk about it.
What about you, Radiant?
I actually told him it's the question. Can you repeat it, because I was reading something?
Okay, well, Radiant.
Wow, I see how it is. I'm asking.
One of my roommates personally, every time I try to talk to him about politics and the news and like why it's important to engage in all these things, he just like he's so doomer about it. It ruins his mental so much that he doesn't want to engage in politics at all.
Oh man,
because it is true. It's kind of like depressing to like be engaging in like all this news all the time, and there's like no one really offers a path forward policy wise or like prescription wise or like what they can do. They just like see all of this and just like despair. So.
Yeah, I also think there's an issue where there's this funny saying that used to be like the problem with philosophy is that even if you don't study it, you're always practicing it to some extent. We all like our personal philosophies guide our life, the way we vote and everything else. I think politics has become a lot like that. In the past, if you didn't want to engage in politics and you just fuck it, you just want to watch anything political and you'd be a relatively politically apathetic person. But our politically apathetic crowd today in the United States all have very strong political opinions because it's being force-fed to them across these social media platforms. like if you're on
I assume
TikTok or
apolitical
Instagram,
just means like
Man,
conservative leaning nowadays. Yeah.
sure,
I have
yeah, but
my best friend used to be uh like a super strong conservative person. And like that literally just destroyed our friendship. Like we were friends for like 5+ years, and like around like this year or last year when Trump got elected, and came into office, and just even just like mentioning anything about politics, it just turned to like a crash out session. Like it's just crazy just how insane things have become. And she tries to not be, or at the time she was not very politically involved, but she's had these extremely strong opinions over stuff you probably saw on like Twitter or TikTok or whatever, about like I don't know, Trump doing like being a Giga Chad, being based or whatever,
yeah.
something retarded. But
And it's impossible to argue against because they don't even have any facts in their mind. But by the
for
time
him,
they're bringing this opinion up to you, like people don't realize it, but they've had this opinion told to them and then reinforced like 1,000 times through different memes.
yeah,
And it's like
and
it's a
the
lot.
and she tries to say I'm not political. I want to have this argument, like, but then she goes ahead and has like a super strong position on so many things.
Haley.
But
Yeah.
We were at a bar in DC, and as we were at that bar watching the World Cup finals, like I think like a group of like 30, 40 strong National Guard soldiers like just walked by the bar, and like kind of naturally I asked like the people around me like, how do you guys feel about this? Like, is this like alarming to you at all? And the answer mostly was just unfortunately apathy. They're like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. It was like the biggest, like, what do you want me to say? Like, and I think that sucks.
Well, this is another thing I
yeah.
think that Hasan can play on is he'll be like, well, look, the Democrats have no answers for you for this, or they give are hard, right? But the answers that Hasan offers are very easy. Just vote my guys into office and we'll fix everything. We'll wave our magic wands. We'll get healthcare for all. We'll get cradle to the grave coverage. All these things. We'll
Yeah,
stop
look at this
all
like
these
BSA
wars.
platform and shit that they just published just came out. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, we're gonna abolish the Senate and like imagine a world where you wake up and you go to the hospital for free and maybe you have to work or maybe you don't, and then you engage in like your hobby and like the kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, another thing earlier to the point that I said where it seems like even if people don't want to be political, they say they're not political. There are like political ideas that have been conveyed to them and they all have them. Every single one of those types of people hate the United States, if not like overtly, in a way where it's like, well, what do you think about like our pharmaceutical companies? It's like, I'm glad Luigi wasted that UNH guy, or UHC or whatever the United Healthcare, UHC guy. Or it's like, oh, what do you think about our politicians? Like, oh, the ones that all went to Epstein Island every single day. And it's like, oh, well, what do you think about like the Democrats or the Republicans? It's like, what's the difference? It's like, oh, what do you think about our like, I guess like our taxes? Or oh, you mean the ones that billionaires never? It's like, okay, do you think America has any good foreign policy? Oh, you mean the genocide? It's like every single thing is bad and horrible. Everything that this country is involved in is bad and horrible and terrible. And that's if you don't even like know anything about politics. Like you have all of these opinions transmitted to you, and it's like Jesus Christ.
that's
Not wrong. Not wrong. It's a problem.
You go.
General Gate.
Wait, Destiny, do you remember a long time
sorry.
ago when I told you that I feel like 99% of like online politics, whatever, is just like a foreign operation? And like, does that feel any more true or not? I don't know if you just agree with me or not, but just like it's literally people are just like absorbing just negative American propaganda, and like they have no positions. They just hate things. It's crazy.
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but there was
see things.
Oh, go ahead.
No, real quick. When you see things posted about like other countries, it's always way more positive. When you see things posted about China, it's
literally.
always like, look at the crazy view in this city. Did you know that Chinese buildings have windows? And they can fucking see outside. Look at this crazy new technology in Beijing. They've got stoplights that have numbers on it. Whoa! And it's like, what the? You serious? Yeah. And it's like these are the people that had to hammer like iron walls into apartment buildings to keep people from leaving because they were so by COVID. Like this is the people that we're worshiping now. It's so oh my god, it's so crazy how fuck
They've
America.
got windows, but then they also have
single...
like the nets around the factories that like make sure that
so true. Yeah, the anti-suicide
nets. Did you see one of the cringiest things? And I think Austin was even here, which is so cringy because he's a really good like pilot on these simulators. When it might have been Will Neff. It was Hasan, and it was Will Neff or Austin. There was some like single engine plane that bounced off a building, and they were like, "Whoa, Chinese buildings can't even be taken down by planes like American buildings are." And it's like, oh my god, is this for real right now? It's so cringe.
Precision Chinese
This
engineers.
is the
In
sad.
the same vein, have you guys seen Tucker Carlson in Russia, like
Oh my
being amazed
God.
at
He
the
got
bread? Like,
bread,
oh, look at the
gang.
bread, guys!
Bread.
Oh my god!
The
Look,
grocery
this
stores.
is an issue that we have in our current media landscape, is that it feels like there's nothing of substance in order to like inform people's political opinions. It's how many clips you have and how many clips you can like get out there, and then as long as they see enough clips, they'll like get to your side. Like no
Yeah.
one's reading books, no one's
don't-
like reading any sort
yeah,
of like, theory.
I don't know how.
It's just
I
it's
don't
just
know
very
how
I'm reading
to
sad.
books,
get
but
people
it's
excited
not
for
many people are reading
America
books, yeah.
again.
Not the average person.
We need to get
I'm
people
not reading
excited for
books.
America again and the American project. And to like conservatives aren't necessarily wrong when they say things like America, the country, has been a force for good worldwide. It has. It has stood up against the dictators in the USSR, right? And yeah, it's done some fuck shit too, but overall it's improved the world. And I don't know, every time I say that, I get accused of being like MAGA or something like that. And it's like, no, Trump wrote in on that America was like a wasteland and he was going to make it great again and things like that. So I don't know how to get people excited on the Democrat side to be basically, no, we need to pump America up. We need to be patriotic again. We need to really kind of wrap ourselves in the flag in a real way.
Wick, are you at all in contact with those like NAFO people, North America Fella Organization people?
I know a couple. Why?
You know a couple. Those they have good. At least I think like leading the whole like international liberalism and like
Yeah, yeah.
NATO, like promoting American values across the world. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's the only thing
Absolutely.
that I can think of like hyping up America.
Okay.
To
Uh,
Berserk's point about the foreign influence stuff too, one thing that's really annoying for all these populist types, if you
Radiant's
look at
point.
or Radiant's point, if you look at all of MAGA, if you look at all the tankies, every single thing they say, every talking point they have, inexorably leads to weaker foreign American influence every single time. Like pull away from it's never like pull away from Israel so we can strengthen our relationships with other countries in the Middle East. It's just abandon it completely. It's never like we need to help Ukraine and figure out what they should do against Russia. It's like Ukraine should capitulate and surrender everything and we should disband NATO. It's never we need to establish stronger trading relationships with people in the West. It's like all of our trading relationships are actually abusive. ISDS, these international dispute resolution things or whatever, the WTO, the IMF, all of these things are capitalist imperialist tools. Get rid of all of them. Like every single prescription from like the MAGA people or from the tanky people are things that conveniently always leave the rest of the world in a slightly weaker spot because America is completely and totally withdrawn. And they never have these same things to say about China or Russia ever.
There was a report that came out recently about Cuba's influence on leftist politicians and influencers. I haven't had a chance to look through it, but given Hasan's recent Cuba trip, I do wonder if there's anything there. One of the problems, though, is it comes from the Trump administration, and everything that comes from the Trump administration, you gotta check like 5 times for accuracy.
Listen, man,
right?
listen. The Chinese trip, okay? Like, if anybody watched that, come on, bro. Like, the Cuba trip is just like icing on the cake. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so obvious. Like,
Sure.
bro is like getting tours around. Like you. I don't even think can you live stream most stuff in China without like. I think
No,
any prior
he's
authorization.
just
I don't
sort of
know,
like
but it's just like yeah, you can't even. Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I forgot. You can't get internet there like normally. You have to go like through,
Watching
like, stuff.
Hasan simp for their social media when his fans started to come, like, well, isn't it kind of bad that you're not allowed to post on Twitter or whatever? And it sounds like you guys don't understand. Like every country has rules. And then on day one, when his phone got seized, that was a conservative wet dream, bro. Are you serious? Like, I can't. And he's making excuses for him. Then he comes back to you. He's like, well, as a guy who's gotten shot by U.S. police, and it's like, give me a fucking break, bro. Oh my God, this guy. You got shot by the cops and you're afraid of me? Like, give me a break. It's like so performative and cringe. Oh, I hate these
Had that mouth
motherfuckers.
photo.
$5 from General Grievous. The tankies in the college den. Oh, well, I already read that. Sorry. $5 from Knots Confusing. Centrist voted blue, but I feel like separating the far left from Democrats is easy. You guys overcomplicated it, and I don't have money to keep typing. Thanks. Well, okay. Thank you for the $5.
I mean, I think it is. So why don't more people do it? Just say like, oh, that's cringe.
True.
We disavow that. Oh, the fact that people won't is what makes people look at you kind of weird. Rightfully so. I think it's worth. I think you should look at people
there's
kinda
a
weird,
reason.
yeah.
Actually, no. Actually,
Hold on. Even today, I tweeted out. I quote tweeted Chevrolet, Kyle Kalinske, and a bunch of in Progressive Victory had a little meeting. I don't know if you saw that, where they were talking about how we're all imperialist, Nazi adjacent, blah blah blah. And I was like, this is damaging us. This is going to help Trump win with this kind of rhetoric, and I think it is. And Soypill quote tweets me is like, "Bro, you're retweeting Fox News, bro. This is your wake up call." But I think he says, "Buddy, this is your wake up call. You're retweeting Fox News." Soypill.
Yeah, I think some people have been. I think like Soypill, I think, and Pisco were like the two biggest victims of the macro political environment that just aren't able to meet the moment. I think, but
Soypill was willing
did
to
you-
hold on. Soypill was willing to vote for a rapist in order to win an election, but he draws the line at me retweeting Fox News to try to win an election.
Oh yeah, that was what I was going to mention. Yeah,
That's
Soypill tweet was a little
wild.
insane.
I mean, okay, that's a weird line to draw, but fair enough. Okay, sorry. $2 from Audacity. I agree with the furry. Get Hasan out of here. Okay. Maki Hilden for $10. Thank you for the work you've done to bring everyone together to discuss this wick. True. $2 from Audacity. Bro, why are you driving around on cancer tires? Okay. $2 from Protest. I said news lib,
oh,
guys.
man, earlier. Good one.
$5 from Dirty Deeds. Did someone ask why Destiny doesn't engage in zero-sum politics? Crazy. Sounds like a cultural Marxist.
I don't know what that means.
Well, yeah, what do you mean by zero-sum politics? Well, you can tell me later, chatter, I guess. Protest for $2 says, I didn't say don't punch left. $5 from Black-Pilled Kiwi. Can we run some op asking any politician and pundit what they think of wearing a mouse suit? I want to find out who's going to hedge and who's going to sweep.
Mouse suit.
Yeah,
I'm buying one. I'm already.
anti-mouse
So
suit.
modern day debate is this weekend featuring Steven. I'm buying a mouse suit. I'm going there, and I'll just talk to them myself. I'm wearing a mouse suit to that. I don't know. I the only time I know about
Well, I
mouse
think
is
the only thing for this event is that this is like a left versus right event.
That's
Like I think.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna matter, but I think people have opinions, and I'll ask them. So sure, there'll be like people outside I can talk to, whatever interview.
I think
Yeah.
that it's
My
one of those
guess is going to
things
be
where
that these are going to be mostly conservatives, and the libs that are going to be my supporters who are going to be like libbed out. So.
Oh yeah, probably yeah. True.
I think it's like someone who's wearing a Hitler mustache, and then when you like, why are you wearing a Hitler mustache? You're like, well, bro, it's Charlie Chaplin.
It's Charlie Chaplin.
It's Charlie Chaplin.
I like Hugo Boss.
Yeah, it's like
So it's the most annoying thing about all of this, and I complain. It's dude, it's the same thing with Trump. This is why I'm so harping on the media ecosystem instead of the messages mattering at all. The thing that is, it's nice, I guess, when you're having formal debates, but otherwise it's annoying, is when Trump does and their supporters are always bringing up like, oh, well, it's not that bad, or oh, this isn't whatever, or they try to like say, well, didn't the Democrats do this? There's like a million insane examples that you can bring up where it's like, bruh, there's like a billion examples to just show you how ridiculous you're being. And the same thing exists now with like Hasan, where every time you try to point out a thing and he like denies it or whatever, there's like such a clear example of him not being truthful. Remember that the Katan, fuck, somebody had a good name for this, the swastikana. The sword or whatever that
yeah with Ethan Klein I remember.
And he was like, I don't even know like that this thing looks like a swastika. You guys are crazy. And it's like gaslighty behavior. And then somebody found the VOD of him buying this sword, and the very first thing he says when he sees it is, oh my god, bro, a swastika sword. And it's like, Jesus fuck, there's like an actual video for every single example of this. Or today we watched a video of him in China where he's buying this Mao suit, and the guy's flipping through a book of like, well, here's all the people who wore it. And it's like the pictures of Mao and shit are there, and it's all like, oh, I want this in this color, yeah, the traditional color, yeah. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? And he's getting one like custom fitted for him. Jesus.
Okay. $5 from Traveca. Dems who are indifferent to Hasan need to be alerted how angrily spoken Hasan was towards Dems rather than Trump in his vitriolic speech. They need to wake up. Yeah, I did listen to the speech. He was very like, yeah, we don't need Trump anymore, but those Democrats have betrayed us, right? It was definitely with the cadence of his voice. First of all, he's not a very good speech giver, right? I don't know if he's had any formal speech training or anything like that, but he's very stilted. He's very stiff. But the times he does get animated is when he's attacking the Democrats, right? Otherwise,
he's normally a little bit better, but there might have been like agents in the crowd that were, DGG agents and whatnot.
He could have been nervous, right? Very scared. It was he
Also,
almost
he
had
will
to
get
be asked a
better. As
tough
bad
question. Yeah.
as bad and as cringy as he is at some things, he will get better. He has gotten better. He's gotten a lot better at subversive propaganda. I don't know if they
Fair.
gave him what is it? The Civil War movie, an Avengers Civil War Bucky training or whatever, where they incepted his mind to do
Yeah.
better propaganda when he was in China. But he's gotten better at it, a lot better at it.
The
So
language that he uses specifically is very precise, and it's like
yeah,
very
he's very big on
intentional.
like
Some of the words that he
cramming
uses
in
that
all
he keeps
these.
repeating and repeating. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cringe as fuck.
It is. Radiant, you sent me something. What is this?
It's the video. Apparently today, I got a message from somebody. It sent me a clip of Hasan watching the David Pakman response,
Oh
whatever,
yeah,
to the
yeah.
things that
We'll do
happened.
it. This is gonna be a whole last stream, I think. I don't think we can go over all this now on
Okay,
show.
fair enough. We'll
But
go over
apparently,
it.
Hassan
There's a
is
little
like at
clip
war
from-
right now with David Pakman. Oh,
Of
if it's a small
course,
clip, I guess. Go
because
for it.
any criticisms given to Hasan, right? It has to be met. They have to deal with it. But if you criticize Hasan, why are you punching left?
No.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
It was
Okay.
just him saying the same thing as usual, like about how we were like we were planning out to harass and like disrupt the convention. Like it's literally the words he said, and it was all on film. And all,
I am worried about you guys because they're going to
Different
keep
reality.
repeating this lie, and people, it's like a permission structure. It's a soft justification to come after you, right? Because
There's
if
a whole
you,
VOD of us being nothing but respectful. Like I feel I feel somewhat confident that people can just look at that and see, but like I guess that's not what's being
well,
clipped,
they prime
so.
it, right? So
Yeah.
they'll
It's delusion.
before they show the information, they'll prime it by saying these harassers, DGG doxers are coming to disrupt, and then that frames what they show, and it primes the audience to see it in a certain light. It's propaganda, right? And so there is a higher than likelihood chance of people who are friendly towards.
Hey, Wick,
What?
I'm sending you a message. Can you go to like 2 minutes in here so I can finish watching this? I just got incredibly pissed off. So like 2 minutes in the streamable,
Oh, yeah.
and like just started from there. Honestly, actually, maybe you could start like 158. Maybe we could just start
I
it.
think we should watch the whole thing honestly, because like I know towards the end he starts talking about Darius coming to harass him, quote unquote, which is stupid.
But I'm like, bro, like here's the thing, dude. Like, I'm so tired of people just like saying like these guys stalk and harass me. Like, can we just do it? Can we actually stalk and harass these people? Like, I know one's doing it right now, and
You didn't mean that.
nothing's
You
happening.
No,
Dude,
no.
nothing's happening.
Disavow.
Disavow.
Dude,
No,
nothing's
No,
happening.
Darius.
Wait, stop. We get it.
No.
We get it. Yeah. But I know what you mean.
Like,
Like, it's crazy
bro,
that they
come
can say
on,
it over and
man.
over and over and over again, and like nothing is actually happening, and it's like Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Okay, where do you want me to go on this? You want
I think we should watch the whole thing honestly.
It's like 2 minutes?
We're gonna
Okay,
get there. It's
well,
3
fuck
minutes.
it.
Yeah.
Why
It's
not?
just 2 minutes is where I got like I skipped through.
Okay,
'cause I
well
was like,
let's see. Let's see what they have to say. So let's go.
Anyway, nasty thing for him to do is to make it seem to his own audience that the guy who spent the last 7 years stalking the living out of me, who has actively said that I deserve death, that I have made statements that are worthy of killing, okay? Worthy of killing me. Guy who has openly demanded people in his community stalk me everywhere I go. Guy who has said I should be bullied and humiliated and yelled at if I'm going out to protest. I'm sorry, David Pakman, you know that okay? You know he's been doing that. And if David doesn't know that, he should hear about it, okay? Because that's crazy. David Pakman, I don't think you are in favor of the targeted harassment that this sex pest has conducted over the last 7 years. Because if you were aware of it and you're still making this video, that is the most disingenuous thing I've ever heard from you. It's worse than when you said, I don't know what IEPAC is. Okay? I don't know what IEPAC is. What is that? Those guys literally filmed themselves with their intent to disrupt an event that they were not invited to. They filmed the entire process. There's videos of it everywhere. Okay? That's crazy.
Can you pause?
I
Can you
don't
pause for like a
think you want to
second?
be
Yeah.
running
Are there
Like,
are there
why are there
videos?
zero videos? Why are there zero
Where
videos
are
of
these
us
videos?
interviewing and talking
There's
to
no
the people?
clips
The
even.
videos are under JCOK's thread. That's it.
No,
The
I
guy
saw
with no
those. Those
reach, no-
weren't like those
that
weren't
is
you. Those were nothing. Those were not.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
didn't
Those are
get
the
to be
videos.
invited to the event either.
Me trolling about how I'm gonna snark him or whatever. That's the disruption I'm doing. I'm like, bro, I don't spend any like. Actually, when I went there, I was just like, hey, what's up? I'm Darius. I do streams. That I want to get involved, and I even gave people my plan on what I want to do and how I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I said I'm gonna ask Hasan to, I guess on my stream, I said I'm gonna ask Hasan old enough account, old enough to mount, and then, but even then, North the whole time was like, bro, like I just want to ask him about his opinions on if he supports Ukraine and like yada yada yada. And even then, I'm asking him like, oh, if I want to ask him serious political questions, what would I ask him? Like what would I ask him? Like, what would be a question to ask? I'm asking North this for help for me to ask, like genuinely talk to him. I'm
Questions
not
are not harassment. I can't stress this
What do you
enough.
mean?
Going to a political influencer who is at a political event and asking them questions about their politics or their statements in the past is by no means harassment. And to frame it as such is dishonest. Hasan
I
is
would
a
also
liar.
say these guys do support harassment when their side does it. Remember, one of the most cucked
True.
moments in all of politics was when Bernie Sanders was trying to give a speech and the two black ladies ran up and they stole his microphone to do their weirdo whatever talking to the crowd about, I don't even remember, white supremacy or some stupid shit. It was literally the most cucked thing in the history of all of Bernie politics.
He was Black Lives
And
Matter.
was it a BLM thing? And then look
I
at
think
the
so.
look at the Scott Wiener thing again. This is like just the craziest, most recent story. Like this guy is getting almost like lynch mobbed out here, and Hasan is watching it on a stream, cheering it on. So they're actually super cool and fine with harassment. It's just they want their side to be the only one doing harassment. And also, like, think about it. Like, let's assume, okay, or not let's assume, but say for sake of argument that people were planning to go to an event and disrupt it by like standing up and shouting or whatever. It's a political event. Like, is it not to say that anybody should disrupt an event, but like, isn't this like? Wouldn't this be the most expected thing to some extent at like a politically heavy event?
Does
it's
he
just so
disavow?
cringe and weird.
Yeah, does he
What?
disavow when Free Palestine goes to the DNC?
Absolutely not. Bro,
Right?
this guy
course not.
watches
No.
terrorist attack. This guy won't disavow the this guy won't disavow the
Houthis?
Houthis hijacking ships. Why would he disavow protesters? He watched the RAF, the Royal Air Force, get sabotaged by a pro-Palestinian terrorist group in the UK. It might have been one of the reasons why his ETA was rejected, by the way, is because this is a designated terrorist group in the UK now. He watched them do the terrorist acts on stream on Twitch and turned it on. He thought it was cool. Like, it's just insane. Yeah, don't let them beat you
cheered
over the
on
head
the
with your own
Houthis.
standards. It's so cringe.
It is.
All right,
it-
Oh, and here's another thing too. Hold on.
He also,
In
I
this
think he also claimed in a sly way. Remember the two Israeli? Were they Israeli or just Jewish Americans that got shot
yeah, who
outside
died?
of the?
I think they were
in New York?
Israeli. I think they were connected with Israel. I believe
Okay, I don't know if
they
that was true or
worked
not,
at
but
the they worked at the embassy. I believe.
sure. He implied that was like like an APAC false flag is what he said about it. So
yeah.
That's
Oh
insane.
my gosh.
That's
Okay, no,
insane.
no, wait.
I do want to finish the clip before.
Notice what Hasan does in what he did before. He's telling his audience to go and harass David Pacman
Yeah,
for doing this.
that is
This is
true as well.
Perfect justification.
Pacman should
for
be
us
made
to go in
aware
and
of this, right? If he
No,
doesn't
it's not just
know,
being made aware.
you
Like,
need
if
to let
you
him know.
Want to counter this? No, it's just if you want to counter this, you have to get into the comments and be like, "Yo, these people are like." It can't just be that like we let David Pacman and his like mods be able to do this. There needs
Yeah,
to be
don't say retarded, though, they can-
counter narrative.
Yeah, we need to
they'll
support.
report you. They'll
Yeah.
report you if you say. Don't say return on Reddit. That's an Insta account ban. Careful. And they do spam
Discord.
reports. They
Yeah.
love reporting. They love spam reporting. I don't type in that. No offense, but I don't type in the melting pot Discord anymore because they'll report you for any comment that even looks. They'll go through the whole thing and yeah.
Yeah. So-
Justical and Scrabble.
Sure,
They'll
sure.
do that.
But yes, this is North is absolutely correct. This is a call for mass letting Pacman know about what's going on. So he's about to get spammed a bunch of links. He's about to get spammed a bunch of out of context clips. All that's about
Wait,
to
just-
happen to this guy.
Like, that's the thing that sucks is like I'm live for 9 hours, bro. Like you can't like, and it's insane because like the little segments you could just like clip it out, but like nobody has clipped out like us talking to people and actually getting because we did it for like literally 2. We were there for 3 hours of the event. For 2 hours of it, we were talking to people and just like I got like people's ads. Like I'm like supposed to be like setting stuff up. I've been like Instagramming the UNCG people. Fucking
Yeah.
like it's annoying. Okay, watch this video though because I gotta crash out.
Around defending a guy who has an active court case distributing revenge porn. Okay.
To a minor.
Yeah, that guy,
missed
his
that
guy
one.
Darius is threatening to go to people's houses.
Ryle Kittenhouse.
He knows such obscure lore, but he gets it from just
I
Just
know,
feeding all
dude.
these
I know, dude. He's like talking about the Ryle Kittenhouse thing, when it's obviously that was like the dude. I wish I went to his fucking house. I did. That was choking. I literally just did a loop around my fucking parking lot just to get engagement, bro. Because it was funny. It was like if this guy's sitting there on the internet telling I'm a fucking rapist and shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna fucking go to his house to fucking hear him. It's funny. Fuck you, dude. And it did. Obviously, all of them are so scared, but they can go on the internet, call me a rapist, do whatever they fucking want. Like, fuck you guys. Like, post around my police records, and then make videos dedicated to like snarking the shit out of me. But I can't like troll for literally. That was like 40 minutes of me just baiting. Oh yeah, what am I gonna do, guys? What am I gonna do? Like, fuck you guys.
Let's finish.
One of his friends, unironically, is now talking about moving to Los Angeles to stalk me more efficiently. That guy who has actually received a restraining order from his ex.
Pause. This guy is banned from the UK. This guy is banned from the whole country.
And had a suggested bill in Congress to call him and Candace Owens anti-Semitic. Like, yeah.
Dude, like, are we serious? We're talking about me getting a restraining order for the dumbest shit, mind you, and then for you're banned from the United Kingdom for being like a fucking terrorist.
He's not banned
anymore.
His ETA got rejected. His ETA got rejected. But to borrow from his language,
yeah.
Separate.
He definitely.
I
calls
Googled
it
it. Look at his band. But okay, but anyway, it doesn't matter. He got rejected.
Okay. We got like it's 52 seconds left. Let's watch.
Come on, man. Come on, David.
I wonder if
We've
David
always
would come
had our
talk to us about
disagreements,
this.
but I've always been cordial because David's been cordial. This is definitely. I don't think David. I'm gonna be charitable. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't think David knows the extent of the madness presented by this cult. Okay, I'm gonna be charitable and I'm gonna say that because if he did, he probably would not be defending this. Bro, come the fuck on.
Dude,
okay, guys.
It's like
Holy shit, let it finish.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't, dude.
Republicans are going to put these clips everywhere. Like people seem crazy when they.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Also, you can show just the times on these are. It's too much, bro.
It's just like, bro, when you're saying like the extent to anything, all the organization, all the like harassment that's directed towards Hasan, nobody from DGG, this guy like at all. I think that one time he ever got with was some guy like did a drive-by and said like Destiny made you or something. And I think Xena was that they were at like a basketball thing at TwitchCon and she like said like Destiny owns you. That's like the like extent to any time I've ever seen this guy get pressed in relation to Destiny ever in real life. Like nobody's actually doing it. So it's like, bro, like at this point, it's like, dude, like what do you like if someone starts actually like pressing him, like it's like, are we gonna like I don't like no what the f are you supposed to do? Like I don't know how it just keeps repeating it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Hasan tweeting, "Hey, David Pakman, why did you criticize the College Democrats of America making a similar decision to the one you made in 2025? What changed?" And then David Pakman drops out of an event. He was co-headlining with Destiny in June, citing reputational concerns. The CEO of the event released a statement, blah, 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 blah. Okay, what's relevant?
I didn't even realize that was the thing that he was citing. Wait, was it about my stuff? Because me and David Pakman were going to do an event, and then they spam emailed him, and then he pulled out. It was the same time also that they spam emailed, and I had to cancel my plushie launch from the last organizer that I was working with because they were all spamming emails.
That was so sad. The makeshift one.
I don't know what we were going to talk about, but I know that the spam emails were about my court case or whatever. So
yeah, this was what he's referencing. He's like,
nice.
But there's a different look. There's a difference between I don't want to work with a certain creator on a project and things like that, and banning someone from a public event. These are not the same thing. These are not the same sorts of decision making that goes into deciding what you're going to do here. Like to try to draw a comparison between these things, right? Or try to say that these are similar events, they're just not, right? Yeah. It's very fine. Be like, hey, I don't want to be on this person's stream, or I don't want to work with this person. Okay, cool. That's an entirely different thing from I'm speaking at a public event. I don't want this person in the building. I don't know. To me, that's different. We got one more thing here.
Oh, the logistical. Wait, just look at the tweets. Look at the times on these.
Oh, he immediately tweeted. It was
Oh, the
2 minutes after.
9:02,
Yeah.
and then the where were we before here? 8:14, so an hour after. Oh
Look at
no,
the
this
time
was
difference
sorry.
between
This
the
is the
logistical and the
post, sorry.
Hasan tweet.
9:01.
Yeah, see?
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see. Yeah,
9:01, and then the other one
they
is
work together.
9:02.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9:02 from
handed
J-Stalk,
to him.
9:01 from Hasan. They wait for their marching orders and then they go. Yes, absolutely. How close? And this is to Destiny. How close? Like, they can do this without any formal connection or formal like DMs being sent. You need to tweet this now. Sometimes they just understand the assignment and they go. How close of a collaboration do you think that Hasan is with J-Stalk and all those snarkers?
Probably fairly close now, because the communication, the back and forth is so fast, and he can probably justify it because he feels like things are getting more serious, and like he's coming out with these points and they're coordinating on it a lot quicker now. And this was kind of like Gisticle's dream, was to finally make it in with another big crowd, because he was simping for this guy for a while. So
Well, that's
it's
how
probably,
he can survive, right? Like he needs.
well, that, and because now he can be like the leader of like this whole other little like lefty snark squad, despite the fact that his personal politics are like neo-Nazi-ish adjacent, which is funny. But
Hey, there's R2.
yeah,
here we go.
Oh, I got it. Nice, good one.
$10 from Real Determinatus. We need to publicly put socialists to the question of you say you want X. Once we achieve that, what's next? Make them either say socialism or disavow it.
Yeah, you can push them on any position. They're not going to have any policies. Like, they'll say it's not important, or they'll whatever. But I mean, they don't ever have like any actual policy positions. Like, just ask them like, what should we do for Israel-Palestine? Like, they don't have anything to say meaningfully on that.
Well, we need to boycott Israel. That's what they'll say. We need to disconnect with Israel. We need to defund all that. $5 from The Dramatic Dream. I'm Dr. Pibb. Kick chat boys. I don't agree with Destiny. Trump is not the bigger threat. Trump has played his cards. He's beatable. Hasan is dangerous.
Okay. I mean, it just depends on how you identify bigger threat, right?
Sure. $20 from Grassroots Hegemon. I do think there is something to be said. Normal conservatives who said college campuses had places that are breeding grounds for these sociopaths were right. We failed to police ours. Good luck.
True.
Yep, I think that's true. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, we're going way back to 2017 now, but there was that massive fire that was started at Berkeley because Milo was going there to speak. It was by a bunch of leftist students. Like, that was unacceptable, and the libs didn't push back on it, and here we are 10 years later. Those leftists are now out of school, and they're doing crazy shit in real life.
$5 from Headless Chicken. Tankies would rather let the country burn in hopes of ruling over the ashes. Act like professionals, and don't make it so obvious who you're with. Okay. $10 from Morally Neutral. Hasan is Mossad. Maybe. Possible. Upstate Trash for $10. Jew Stalker is morbidly obese. Did the guests have analysis of that fact?
Like what? Dude, JSTOK will not talk to anybody that's in this call right now, and he's consistently going
Oh,
online
he'll talk to me.
talking about what. He'll talk to you about this.
He wants to talk to me, actually.
He wants to talk to. He wants to debate Dev. Yeah.
Really?
He won't talk to. He won't talk to the guy who knows. Like, look, he wants to. He mentioned that if I disagreed with anything about the court case allegations he's made, that I could come on stream with him. But the problem is I haven't followed the court case, and no offense, I just don't know enough about it. Like,
well, that's what these people do, right? They go after the weakest link, and their goal is to convince them. So,
well, I don't know
if I came there to
the weakest
disrupt
link,
and, like-
but I just don't. I just, frankly, it's drama stuff, and I don't cover drama stuff a lot, right?
If I came there to disrupt and cause a commotion, why did I not like press people about their support for Hasan, or like try to like get more information from Hasan on everybody? I was just like, yeah, I support him, and then I just talked to people about what they're here for. I was just conversing with people and just having a normal time. Like, it's actually, I guess, supporting the actual event that was going on. I mean, my intention there was to speak to Hasan and then say like a little jokey comment. But as I came over there and I was interacting with people, I was like, okay, this is like, yeah, it's fun. I'm just talking to people that work here, and this is also in line with what I want to do in the future with canvassing. So I'm going to keep talking to people.
It is telling that the strongest piece of evidence that they have presented to make their case was you saying, I'm going to snark Hasan. And I guarantee you, Jew Stalker does not believe that snarking is a bannable offense or should be a bannable offense.
Or is even a real
And
thing.
we've been throwing around that word like super playfully this entire trip. It's obviously like an ironic thing.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, absolutely, yes. But they have the
At least to
ability
some
to
extent.
understand jokes and irony when it's made by their side, but they suddenly lose that ability when it's made by any one of their enemies. And it will always, context is something that they demand you deal with them in.
Wait, but what are you gonna? What are you guys talking about? So what does he want to talk? Does he want to talk about our intention and if we deserve to be
Oh,
kicked
no, he
out?
doesn't want to talk about this. He wants to talk about the court case, the Destiny's.
What the fuck?
Court case with Pixie. Well, yeah, because they go around because it's like this is another thing I'm a little worried about. Like when this court case ends and they don't get the result that they wanted, like I don't know if someone's gonna lose their fucking mind. It's like, well, yeah, mission
Let me
heard,
get
sir.
him.
We have only one way to go now. Yeah, and it's like Jesus Christ, but like that. Yeah, that court case is like the most important thing to prove that I'm like a long-term pedophile rapist. They use that whole thing. Hasan, I think Hasan is. I don't know if Hasan has repeated this point yet, but I know Justical says it a lot. So Hasan will be saying it soon if he hasn't already. That the whole reason why that DGGP organization was created was to just provide cover for my sex crimes.
Hasan has said that, or well, no, it was Juice
Dude,
Juice
by the way,
said
my
that,
dude,
yes. Juice
my dude,
said
I
it,
didn't,
sorry,
dude, I was
correct myself.
expecting when I went to any of the DGG event things that are publicly available, you could see wherever they're going. I expected to see Destiny at least one of them. I did not see him at any of them. And I was like, oh, okay. Since people were saying that he's like super involved, he wasn't at a single one. And then when I talked to people there, I was like, yeah, you probably know me from Destiny. Some of them were like, no, I'm here because I'm a friend of a guy that was like a fan of Destiny that like I'm now involved in. So now I'm involved in the group. It's like this.
When I was asked to do streaming at LibCon, I didn't think Destiny was going to be streaming with me at all. Like that wasn't communicated to me or anything. It was supposed to be me and Soypill. Me and Soypill were going to co-host a stream for a few hours, and they were going to get us guests, and we're going to interview the guests. Yeah, Destiny just didn't come up.
That's weird, Darius, because everybody knew me.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, thing I remember from when I was talking with some people from Digital Ground Game, is one thing they mentioned was that the last members that they want are DGGers because they say that DGGers don't seem to be like as good at doing the whole, I guess, politics thing than the other people they found. But it's just funny to mention.
Bullshit! I don't believe that.
I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. Well,
Who told you this? Who told you? Name names.
My guess is it was probably Bryce, and I know why. It's because he was talking to you, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, maybe. Hey, listen.
I fully support Bryce when he said it because you know what? He probably was talking to you, though.
Bryce was like, no, it's fine, man.
Who else could call
You're
the
good.
controversy like this? Who else?
$10 from ECP. Lived a few blocks away from Chaz, and it was so dumb. It ended in 2 shootings. The second, a black kid died, and the shooter is on camera picking up shells trying to hide evidence. Pure hypocrisy. $5 from Dr. Dick
What, you can't pick up the trash
Maydong.
anymore?
Jesus.
What's up?
I was just making a
Is
joke.
it a
about
crime to pick up trash? Is
Oh.
what he said. He's saying the black kid that he got
Yes,
killed. He's saying
I
that black
getcha.
kid was trash. I don't know
No,
why he's
you
saying
Wow.
fucking moron. I was saying,
Wow.
you dumb fuck.
Shit. $5 from Dr. Dick Maydang Dong. I thought we were giving up our
Right.
liberal principles because of the Dark Knight and movies and stuff. I sure hope Destiny and Dev will make up our minds. Okay.
Thought we were
Ten-
what?
I don't know.
Something
$10
about Dark Knight.
$10 from Robert Paulson. Please ask Dev to say, I am about to have a bowl of soup.
Wait, Dev, so are you getting involved in this stuff or what? Like, you're gonna get around? Like, you're gonna get like tacked in or what, man? What's your situation?
What the fuck did you just say?
Like, are you like gonna be like here, like, dude? You're gonna show up at the events, man. You're gonna get like lit. Like, you're gonna. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? Man?
If I get enough money to do it, sure. I'm pretty poor right
Dude,
now.
that's so, dude. That's literally just if you just go live and you're like, hey, I want to go to a Destiny thing. Give me money. The people will do it. People like you and people want to see you show up.
Maybe after I get settled in my new place, yeah.
You should do it.
You should.
Okay,
I
I'll
like
keep in
that.
touch.
I got to hang out with Kraut. I want to hang out with the other guy who survived Gamergate, right?
Oh my god, the crowd thing was so awkward when he was talking to me at first because he's just like, I thought it was like a schizo dude because I had no idea who this guy was, and he's just like talking to me like so friendly, and then I didn't realize it, and then I heard him talk to somebody else.
Did
and
you recognize the voice?
Well, yeah, the voice clicked after a second, and because he started talking to someone, I was like, wait a second, is that Kraut? And then I realized, I was like, oh, what's up?
You hadn't seen him before?
No, I never have. No,
never seen him.
You ever heard of
Nice
Kraut?
guy. Like one of the guys who hung out with me, I think the most at the event was Kraut. He's a good guy. Very cool.
Chiller. I like him.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, like
Very
a
kind.
smooth German
It's very
voice.
sweet.
As soon as he started talking, like I didn't know what he looked like either, but as soon as he started talking, just instant, like 'cause
Very
nobody
good
else got a
vibes.
voice
Very
like
good
him.
vibes all around. It's funny how a Jew stalker and them were basically calling him a creep the whole time, though. That was a.
Oh yeah, they're trying to say they're
behavior.
I don't
trying
know,
to
bro.
dude, they're saying
wild.
something about
I
him
have-
like
accuse
whoa,
Kraut of
one at a
like
time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a
sexually
time.
also lit.
doing something weird, some weird sexual shit with Stardust, and it's like they've been friends since like 2018.
Yeah, they
But
were.
I
fuck?
have a positive story about Kraut. Okay, so like yesterday when we were cleaning up the
Oh my
Airbnb,
God, bro.
Kraut was with us. Okay, no, but this
Oh
is
my
good.
god,
Okay,
he
I'm gonna
loves
expand.
this.
I told Kraut, or like I said, Kraut, you do not have to help us clean up this place. You know, we're gonna check out at 11. You can leave whenever you want. It really doesn't matter. This guy stayed until 11 o'clock just cleaning up all the trash and garbage that everybody's leaving around, like
What a-
putting all the stuff back and like picking up clothes. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, what a,
Did you
what a,
clap
what a
afterwards?
stand
Yeah,
up.
man. Well, I did clap. No,
I would have told
but,
you to get. That's your mess.
I
ain't cleaning
I didn't
that
tell him to
shit.
do it. No, I said, bro, stop doing this, bro. You need to stop. He's like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't have anything else to do. Like, I don't know why he was helping. It's pretty nice.
I've always liked Kraut's content,
Yeah.
but like interacting with him, he is like a genuinely good person.
True. $10 from No
Locked
Flame.
up.
Question
I
for
also
Destiny.
locked in cleaning that morning.
Question for Destiny.
Thank you.
Let me make a little money. Just off the top of the dome, why did Trump happen? And then same question to Dev.
Why did Trump happen? I mean, it's always multivariate, right? But I mean, I would say, or multifactorial, I guess. I mean, I would say that the biggest issue is that Republicans have been playing a dangerous game for too long and pretending to be, well, not actually being, but appealing to reasons. And then when an actual reason came along, they realized that they had spent so much time pretending to be, the voting base couldn't tell the difference anymore. So a party full of Romneys that were acting like Palins suddenly found themselves surrounded by a bunch of Sarah Palins who were eager to vote for Donald Trump, I think.
Yeah, they
Fair
courted, and then we're
I
surprised
think that's
when
partially
they
true.
elected a retard.
I think another big part of it was that basically the entirety of America was suffering from Iraq War fatigue, and the fact that Trump during those primaries was willing to go up and tell the entire Republican establishment to their face that they are wrong about the Iraq War. That earned him a lot of credibility with people who were like undecided.
Fair enough. $5 from Word of the Wise. It's so pathetic that D and others were kicked out from the CDA while Timu Mao gave a speech. The time to punch left is now or never.
Timu Mao.
True. Lancy Pelosi for $5. Bear in mind, Bill Maher stated he would vote J.D. Vance because of people like Hasan Piker. We need to vehemently exercise these demons. Optics matter. True.
Peacefully.
Well, here's the thing. Like, a lot of leftists will say, well, you need our votes, right? It's a numbers game. For every one leftist that we kick out of the party, I think we get 3 other votes that come back in.
Yeah, it's just never been the case in any of these primaries or elections that like the extremist wins the primary or the extremist like outperforms in the general. Like, it just doesn't happen. So I don't know, like when people say this shit, like Biden was one of the more moderates, maybe the most moderate of the
I think he was the
2020
most
primary.
moderate. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he was coming off of like Obama's record and everything else. I mean, maybe Bloomberg or whatever, maybe one of those was more, but like definitely compared to even Harris or Warren or any of these other people at the time. And then, you know, Hillary pretty handedly beat Bernie. Hillary got 3 million more votes than Trump, regardless of how you feel about the Electoral College. Like, she outperformed electorally. And, you know, for all this, like, you run to the center and you're losing votes or whatever, that's just not true. Like, and you even the polling data today, when you look at where the Democratic Party is at, like, it's 2-1 or 3-1. People want the party to be more, they say moderate or centrist.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure what voters actually mean is they just don't want to see, like, culture war trans issues and shit all the time or whatever. But you know,
Yeah, it's
this
only
idea that there's some huge hunger for socialism, for actual socialism, is just not true. They'll show the polls where it's like, oh, but a lot of Americans say they think we should be a little bit more socialist. But when the average American says that, they're saying that like we should keep funding Medicaid and not we need to have workers seizing all the capital from the capital class.
I think the average American just wants a little bit more money in their pocket so they feel like they're doing a little bit better. It's like it's a lot of it's economic.
And feel like the government is doing something for you and it's not just like some impediment or vehicle for the rich to get richer or something. Yeah.
And their money's going somewhere that they like it to go to. Yeah.
$5 from Apex Valkyrie. My best friend will rarely talk about politics, but when Trump said he was going to make Canada a state, he said, that's really cringe. I agree. True. $20 from Semidius. It seems like being aggressively, annoyingly persistent is the meta. Snarkers, QAnon, social media, they sow seeds of informational social influence of BS. Why not organize, annoyingly, persistently weaponize that?
Yeah, I think I've been doing that in my community for months now. Like we've been really big on the retweeting people and staying on message and basically like reiterating this over and over again. I've had a few Twitter people who've been like phenomenal at this. Yeah, it's an intentional strategy. I pointed this out a long time ago, and I remember going through the phases of like, it's so stupid. Why does he do this? Like, oh my God, this is cringe. He's senile too. Oh, I understand it now. Where every single time Trump gives a speech, it's like America's the hottest place it's ever been. Nowhere's ever been hotter. Biden failed this. Like he says the exact same talking points over and over and over again. But the reason why is because if you repeat it enough, it just gets picked up by everybody else, and then it's like a brainwashing.
He's done the same speech 50 times in a fucking
Yeah.
row, and he always
Yep.
hits the hits. We gotta
the
get the
same-
Save
yeah, the
America
hits.
Act passed. It's the Save America
Yeah,
Act. Yeah,
this was
every
a
fucking
dead
time.
country. Yeah, so
Yeah.
many millions voted. 2020, nobody knew what the hell was going on. We're not gonna have a country anymore. Yeah, it's the same talking points, and Hasan does it too now. When you
Autopen,
listen to him
yeah.
speak, he's like a little Markov chain machine when it comes to hitting the same points over and over and over again. It's so annoying. You listen to the Katos when he talks.
Yeah.
It's very intentional the way that they do it. Ugh.
$5 from Fire Burn Ouch. Who promoted Soy Pill, Pisco, Vosh, and Piker? In this corner of the internet had never if this corner of the internet had never entered political streaming, they wouldn't exist.
That's
$10
you,
from
Steve.
Real
You did
Terminology.
that.
We need to publicly put social. Oh, I already read that. $5 from Gazzle Burner. We need to start asking the far left candidates, influencers who won the 2020 Iowa caucus. Okay, if you know, you know. $10.
If you can't answer who won the 2020 election, that should be disqualifying, by the way.
Well, the Iowa
Sure,
caucus.
not the election though. Wait. Does anybody know the memes he's talking about?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Not off the top of my head. No, not the Iowa.
Wait.
one.
What is it? Radiant.
Certified the winner.
Okay, is it?
Biden was certified the winner. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, literally, yeah. It was that thing about there was like
Wait.
some like irregularities for the caucus.
I thought that was the one that Pete Buttigieg won. No.
I don't think Buttigieg won that. I thought it was. Actually, wait, no, you actually might be right because I do
Iowa
remember
caucus
it was
Buttigieg.
2020.
This was a huge dude. Bernie Bros lost their mind.
They're going crazy, man. Like
on
Yeah,
this
Pete-
shit.
Twitter
Pete
fraud about
won-
the caucus.
But wait, how did Bernie get more pledged delegates, but Pete technically had the most percentage?
Won the caucus in Iowa, not
Iowa
Not the
caucus result
whole-
2020.
Mhm.
Pete had 26.2%. He got 9 pledged delegates. Bernie Sanders got 26.1%, 12 pledged delegates. Elizabeth Warren 5 at 18%. Biden 14 at 15.8%.
So you have delegates. Okay, you have to be careful. You have to be careful here because there's a lot of trigger
Go
people.
ahead.
You have a thing called super delegates. Okay, we don't talk about the super
Oh,
delegates. But
okay,
basically, delegates are apportioned based on the percentage of votes, and the super delegates are free to vote in the way that they see fit. A lot of people really don't like the super delegates for a variety of reasons, but
So super delegates went further for Biden and further
Yeah.
for Bernie. Got it.
when the Bernie math shows up, usually super delegates are who they'll point towards. They'll say, well, more people would have voted for Bernie, but because the super delegates were voting for Hillary or for Biden, that's why they all thought it was hopeless, and then they all started voting for Biden anyway. They'll bring that up, yeah.
Cool.
$5 from Dwillow. What if the only way forward is someone like Ossoff or Tallarico who masks up to lefties with the right rhetoric, but are actually strong liberals?
You can do it a little bit, but you got to be careful. It's a dangerous game. You can't flirt with the rhetoric with the populist shit. I just think I don't know. I think Ossoff is probably taking about as far as I'm comfortable going, but we should be able to win on strong liberal messaging. We just have to actually message well and then have a bunch of other people that are willing to stay on topic and not constantly capitulate to these crazy loser lefties. It's so cringe.
Liberalism is good, actually. Okay, and I'm a proud liberal.
I think if you make social media require ID or something to sign up, I think things will be a million billion times better. I think that would literally be groundbreaking.
I was talking about that. I was trying to talk to some of the larger political people at the LibCon event about doing advocating for ID being tied to social media stuff. The problem is that advocating for that now, it feels like it's more of a futile thing. We need to be focusing on things that we can achieve more in the short term and within our own ability instead of advocating for something that's a little bit more out there.
Sure.
That's going to require major legislation, a lot of political power to achieve.
$10 from Lib Trucker. Should we, as libs, start treating people like Soy Pill and Pisco like the enemy? In my opinion, they are enablers. Show of hands if you think we should treat Pisco and Soy Pill as enemies. Raise your hands.
Okay, what do you mean by enemies, though?
I don't think you treat them like enemies, but they're not good allies, is what I would say, I guess, yeah.
Fair. Okay, and hold on. You raised your hand, Parsec.
Parsec.
I'd look.
Berserk. Yeah, I did.
Okay, elaborate. Tell us why.
They facilitate the virus spreading. That's the biggest problem that I have. It's sort of like it's like a middle ground, sort of like the way that a cell works. You know how like osmosis works, where you kind of like have those gates that
Vaguely,
let
yeah.
things in and out of the cell. If you facilitate those gates, and if you facilitate the people who sweep for the virus in your party, I think that they are just as bad as the virus itself, and I wouldn't want to be associated with them as a liberal or as a Democrat.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't say osmosis personally. I would say more like excitations of like fields that exist through the medium of space time. But yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying there. But I view it, I kind of view it as like a wave function where you have to like make these choices. But thank you, true, indubitably.
Well, no, that wouldn't make any sense though, because then you would have to collapse the wave function.
Okay,
and
enough.
I don't know how you would do that.
Enough.
Canadian, okay? He's Canadian. That's his vocabulary.
$5 from Oscar Rivera, sorry. The best part of the tweet where CDA said their VP didn't speak for their organization. LOL. That was wild.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking stupid.
$2 from Touche.
I don't know. The funny thing is, I don't know if that was supposed to be about the VP or about Hasan, but either one of those would be equally funny. It's you're bringing in a speaker that doesn't represent you. What? Why would you bring in the speaker then? He's like sanctioned by the event. You're inviting him. Like what?
That's it's not like it's a debate.
Well,
either.
hold on. I think they were also under the impression that some of us might have been CDA people, so it could have been that like the CDA members, because they specifically said members, like at the event, maybe they thought that we were intentionally being disruptive and they didn't want us to ruin their reputation. I don't know. Just
no idea.
out there.
$2 from Two Jeds Tom. Does D regret hitching up his Zog wagon yet? I don't even know what that is.
Does that mean that I'm too Zog or not enough Zog or?
Go ahead, Zog.
$5
my friend. I'm ready. I'm getting ready to move to Israel, bro. Those are my people. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like when they lock the Jews in a room at the College Democrats of America event, man. That's
really
crazy.
fucking weird. And if anybody's listening or friends with anybody where any of that happened, if anybody has any like cell phone footage or anything of that, I'd be super interested in. Yeah.
Okay.
That ain't good.
$5 from Rapscallywagus. There's a clip of J-Stock saying he will obsessively cover and snark Hasan for years before he became an anti-fan. Someone find it and let's watch. We'll watch it another day. $5 from Ravek. Do you think Hasan would rather have Sam Hyde at this point or Destiny at events?
He'd probably rather deal with Sam Hyde.
Probably. Maybe, actually, yeah.
I think he's too scared of you, man.
That's crazy.
I mean, Sam Hyde might hurt him physically, but you would hurt him reputationally, and I think that's where he would protect more than anything else. $5 from Hurting Unit. Hamas Piker is such a dishonest punk. That's all true. $10 from Lawson Harrison. These losers show their when they attack the most innocent family-friendly streamer, Hutch. For why I still have no idea. True.
Damn. Hold on. I thought they were exaggerating. Swordpill was full on defending the CDA in the on Twitter too.
Read it.
No way.
Yeah, are you talking about the Wick retweet? Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's what people said, and I looked at his thing and I saw that, but then I looked at replies, and then like he answered some person on Twitter. He says in quotes, "You seem very defensive of the government cracking down on free speech, but not a thing at a convention. That seems like intentional disruption that the host disagreed with," end quote, implying, I guess, that we were going to intentionally disrupt. And then somebody replied to him and they were like, "How is it a disruption to show up and ask questions at a political event? Exactly. Do you think 10 people were going to have a sit-in? When has Destiny ever known to be disruptive in real life?" And then Soypill said, "Was there a Q&A? I don't know what he's implying, but yeah.
We thought there would be.
That's the thing that I've seen a lot of the snarkers in my chat earlier were saying, prove that there was going to be a Q&A. I guess the line is that you guys...
It doesn't matter. Even if there wasn't a Q&A, why does it matter?
Pretty much like every speaker that I was watching there, they had like a Q&A types like section or like thing at the end of their talks.
Yeah,
like,
you were there for a few hours, right?
Awkward. Yeah. The
before you got kicked out,
it was like extremely out of the norm. Yeah.
Okay.
So like, and I've never seen like a political type thing.
Yeah,
where
you want to know an example of a it's so funny actually. Can you think of a really crazy example where there is a guy that did an open event? I think it was like was it within a week after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, where everybody was like the tensions were fucking high, okay, at the college right of this event. And the soy pill was one of the people who came up to ask me an ultra critical question about my rhetoric relating to Republicans when half the people here weren't sure if I was going to get fucking assassinated. And he asked me all those questions while he was there. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's insane to me, bro. Yeah. I don't know, dude. That's crazy. But Hasan wouldn't be able to answer a single question if they did an open Q&A. Like, come on. I'm sorry, but it's not even close to the same, bro. That's wild.
$10 from Brad.
Did the soy pill talk to you about this at all, or did he just tweet about it?
No, he hasn't.
Oh.
$10
Maybe
from
you could
Brad.
get him on a panel, Wick.
I shook that man's hand. Okay, I thought it was cool.
I will have
cool.
Soy Pill on anytime he
reach
wants
him
to
out.
come
Good.
on. I've no beef with Soy Pill. He's a little annoying right now, but I've no real beef with Soy Pill. But I don't know. Yeah, the panel thing, I don't know about that. $10 from Brad Fulton. This is an incredible T-shirt, Mooten. Bravo.
Thanks. It's my Destiny merch that I got for being in the cold.
Oh, I have a notebook of that back there.
Okay.
Wait until Luke shows you all of Destiny's merch. She has so much Destiny merch.
Stop!
It's so cute.
$5 from
Bro,
Natural
holy shit!
Phenomenon.
Wait, I'm sorry, real quick. I know you're making money. Wait, read this one and then go through this after. Jesus.
Okay.
Pull that up, Wick.
$5 from Natural Phenomenon. Trump spawned from the internet, fueled distrust in government, exacerbated by right-wing power plays, systematically damaged education, and trickle-down econ. Okay, wow. What am I bringing up here?
I think he DM'd it to you. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
hold on. Give me a second. Let me put it on the screen. Let me make it big.
Oh, goddamn.
Is this from Hasan's chat? David Pacman, I'm genuinely disappointed with David. He's not beating these Argentinian allegations for me now.
That's a neo-Nazi. That's a Nazi joke, by the way. Yeah.
I don't get that. Don't
Hey,
fight with
yo.
David APAC on your days off. David APAC?
David APAC.
Fuck
'Cause he's a
David
Jew, by the way.
Pacman.
He's Jewish.
I know you're already on it, but can't wait for you to light up calling for out his book. There's just hundreds of these, gang. Like, we don't... I'm
Yeah.
scrolling.
This ass platform, dude. Twitch is crazy. That Dan dude. That's just
Dan
insane,
Clancy.
man.
Fuck
It's like
David
cool.
APAC man. David APAC man over and over again. Fuck David Pacman. David Pacman does support socialism, but only in Tel Aviv. What? Housing as a human right is good,
Bro.
David. Right? There's like hundreds of these.
Yeah.
It's insane. That's
This is like-
crazy.
This reminds me. I think they were like saying this like similar stuff about like the Zuggerite person in the JLCOK's chats. Like, it's just crazy. Like, bro.
Oh,
they
the comments
hate
about
you so
her?
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's either that like oh Destiny slut or that fact that she's Israeli or I think she's Israeli or Jewish. It's just crazy.
I think she's Jewish.
And she doesn't even talk about politics. She has a strong opinion about Israel Palestine, but she doesn't really talk about it that much. It's just like just stupid.
Insane.
It's weird.
A lot of unhinged sexual comments
So
of that
yes.
nature. It
So
was
this
really
is why
uncomfortable.
I just want to kind of like harp on this and kind of like really hammer down. If you criticize Hasan, this is what you're going to expect to happen. And that's just one little section, right? Imagine what he's getting in his Twitter replies. Imagine what he's getting in his inbox. Imagine what he's getting in his YouTube comments. Imagine what he's getting in his Reddit
Well, look at
in
the
his subreddit.
I just sent you too.
What did you just send me?
Oh, is it this? The picture of the
Daniel
If I'm
O2
president,
in
I'm
Hasan-
putting
yeah. Daniel O2 in Hasan's chat says, if I'm president, I'm putting David Pacman in a camp.
Yeah,
Someone
you both
saying,
sent me the
"Sue
same damn
him,
thing. Okay.
Jail,
my
jail, jail.
God.
Treason doesn't require a prison. Yeah, these people are nuts, man.
Treason does. Yes,
Holy
yes. This
shit.
is when we talk about calling for violence, right? When we talk about dangerous communities, okay. All I'm saying is that it's almost every week I find out someone new to me has been either doxxed or they're attempting to dox them, right?
Yeah.
It's insane, and they'll just do it on Twitter too. They'll just throw it out there. Okay. Oh, sorry. Ugh.
money.
5 Wick TV gift memberships from the Trib one. Thank you. Mantis Praise for $10. Destiny. I warned you about J-Stock when he was still in your community, hosting your little DGG after show, and was harassing me and tomfoolery. You even repeated his snark. You suck. I love you.
Get snarked.
I don't recognize New Zealand people as humans, so I don't care. Get fucked.
People from Digital Ground Game are sending me the things that they're getting. They're getting tweets such as "Die DGG scum," things like that. It's insane.
Jesus.
Right.
One thing that's kind of annoying too, because this stuff does work, is that like I laugh it off and you guys are laughing it off or whatever, but like it is pretty spooky to normal people. Like I had a huge overhaul of mods in the past because a lot of them just had to quit because it was too much pressure. Like they got scared of a lot of like there's a lot of pressure to be moved out of these spaces. I mean, you see how like Justical and all them act like to anybody. And there's like also too, there's no boundaries for these people. Like they will find your socials, they will
Your
try to find your
kids,
friends, like
yes.
they'll do it's, and nothing is off limits, right? Do be running around in all these chats arguing why you can A-log my son, Hasan bringing up my kid constantly. Like,
Can I
like
show
there's
this on
literally nothing. What?
Mooks, can I
Bro.
show this on screen?
Yep. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, someone was in David Packman's chat literally saying like, oh, or sorry, not Packman, Hasan's chat saying David Packman has 2 beautiful kids. Like these people are unhinged and crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, imagine talking to a streamer, and then like the next day, your mom gets a phone call from somebody telling them you need to kill yourself. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Would you do, where is this from? Would you do this is Dispel saying, would you do a snarking job for me, please? Is this guy Mooks' husband? And they're linking this Sharpie V guy, I don't know who that is. And Rar Moxie, well, he's in my Discord, so he must be a good guy. Well, no, I don't want to say that. There's a lot of people in my Discord that maybe aren't good guys. Never mind.
They're all
No,
good
disavow.
guys.
But yeah, they're just basically, would you do a snarking job? Where was this posted?
I would not like to say.
Okay, that's insane though. To just
Wait, can't you tell where it's posted because of the icons next to the person's name, or no?
no,
That's
that's
just anybody can click the. That's like a clan tag.
yeah, it's
Oh,
clan
I
tag.
don't. I suck at Discord. I don't know. You guys are weird. Okay.
Boomer.
This is 9:49 p.m. So this was like 20 minutes ago.
This is while I was on this panel. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get her.
This is why
dared talk about Hasan.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is why it's hard for me to get some guests now. Is because if
I
you
barely
come on
said
my show,
anything too.
if you
Yep.
come on my show, they're just gonna target you. And what
could
do
do
I
a
say to
fucking snark
people?
job.
Like, how do I? My business is not good business, Mr. Moot.
Not good business.
Well, I've got to take off though, but
Go
thanks
ahead,
for
thanks,
having me.
Dan. Yeah.
Have a good
Thanks for
day.
having me on for a little bit. I will say right at the end here though, Wick, like I do get a little bit of harassment as well. Like in reference to all of this, but it's almost always drowned out by the right wing harassment that I get from my former associates and like their followers. I mean, you've had Ace on your show. You know how unhinged he is.
He's working with the JStalk community. To be clear, they connected up.
After you interviewed Ace, they linked up. Yeah,
They linked up.
That
Yeah,
was
some of them are
your
starting
fault.
to, yeah.
That was
The
your fault, Wick.
supervillains are working together.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
a lot of the right wingers who are mad that I kind of left the Sargon orbit, they've now linked up with JStalk as well, from what I understand.
Yeah, and keep in mind,
Yeah.
like the nicest dude on the planet. Hopefully, Dan's not here. Like I don't know if you guys are aware, like Dr. K on Twitch. Like there's that LSF clip of him talking about how streamers have confided in him in the background about how scary Hasan's community is. And that's to Dr. K. And that was like a year or two ago. Like, that's crazy. I'm sorry. Like that. And then also, I saw one comment. I think it was on LSF. It was probably by a Destiny Dick Rider or whatever. They said they weren't, but maybe they were lying. I don't know, because you guys do whatever. But like, it was funny because somebody had mentioned, like, I hear all the time about like the DGG community and how scary they are and everything. But like, I've never actually seen anything ever of the DGG community. Like, I don't know where these things come from. But the Hasan you see everywhere on Reddit. They're everywhere, where if you make a bad comment about him, no matter what subreddit you're in, these people will show up. They immediately start going through your comment history, calling you a fascist, saying whatever. Like, and the idea that like my fans, like they have this, it's like you're more likely, if a DGGer shows up somewhere to make a comment, there will be 10 people that will show up and be like, oh, you're a Destiny Dick Rider. And they're all like DSA, like Marxist-Leninist, like tanky posters on the program subreddit or whatever. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. The most unhinged thing that I've seen, aside from you getting swatted Destiny, but I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Stardust was sent a cow head.
Jesus.
No,
What?
it
What?
wasn't. It was a picture of a cow head. I remember.
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah. She talked about it on stream, and like because she's Indian, right? And it's like, holy shit, dude, that's pretty crazy. I think that's some.
It was by that
that's some pretty
substance
crazy
guy.
racism.
The substance guy
was
that
it?
Hasan loves to retweet and like and quote.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Jesus
Like
Christ.
he sent it to her address?
Yes.
Oh, well then that's, I mean, what do you want me to say?
Yep.
Listen,
I gotta go though. See you later, guys. Have fun.
Okay, have fun.
How could you think? How could you think that
See
this
you later.
guy? How do you guys think that this guy here could be?
Dude,
harassing
you're so
people? Come on.
gay.
That's
Like, look at
okay.
him, man.
That's too homosexual for me. Okay, $5 from John Smith's basement. Any plans to target right-wing influencers like Mr. Metacore and Kino Casino in the future? They've also contributed in stalking culture online.
We're a bit busy
Hey,
right
Rick.
now, bud.
Yeah, we'll come for them next. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Wick, you're kind of like not like a pussy. Why didn't we hang out at all during the thing? Why didn't you come with me for the CDA thing?
You should have
Actually,
came to the
I
rave,
thought
Wick.
So
no,
two
you
things.
should
I
come to
didn't
the
come
rave
to the
actually.
CDA thing because I was on my way home when I found out it was happening, and I wasn't gonna fucking turn around. I was like, okay, I
And
was
you
on
didn't
my way
think
home.
like, oh, maybe I should stay around a little bit longer to see Darius. I mean,
was-
everyone I know
I
moved
was
their flights
there
the next day for the rave because it
From
was the most
Wednesday
lit thing ever.
night to Saturday morning. You had ample opportunity to come
Dude,
see me. You did not.
I know you were just like randomly. You
I
never communicated
texted
with me
you
until you
because
were
people
blitzed out
said,
drunk,
hold on,
staying in
people
random
told
areas.
me that you wanted to contact me.
Hey.
So I texted you, hey, you want
Reminder
to hang
that
out? You want to meet up?
hey, dude,
Nothing.
okay, motherfucker.
Nothing.
Think about this,
Nothing.
dude. You only did this while you were drunk. Never at all did you do this while you were sober. You only think of me while you're intoxicated or your instincts are down. You don't think of me. You don't think of me as a guy that can come close to you whenever you're in your most like guarded up because you know I'll penetrate you.
That doesn't even
I
make
think he would have hung out if
That
he
does
reached
make
out more.
sense.
That doesn't make
Okay.
sense because everyone knows I would be the top in this situation, but fair enough.
Caparino.
Okay.
But
$10.
why don't you? But I'm being serious. Why don't you?
We can
like
hang out
I'm
next time next time you're in the area.
no
You just gotta
no. I'm
make
not talking about hanging out. Like I want to go to the events and I want to go do these things. Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you at the modern day debate thing? Isn't this like your job?
I wasn't in. Well, first of all, I have no
He's
interest
not
in going
here.
to debate those people. They're not fun. They're not interesting. There's no one new there. I can.
Oh, come the fuck on.
They're not. They're not interesting. They're just not. Those
snarking.
right wingers.
Loaderbox is
They're not
going.
interesting. I've seen Loaderbox
Loaderbox is
before.
going?
I've
Really?
met Loaderbox.
Yes.
Oh damn.
Yeah. How are you? Yeah. Yeah. So that's dude. Just come over. It's good. It's gonna be good to stream and just talk with them, man. People want to see you. People want to see you get around.
Tell
and
you
get,
what,
like,
you buy my plane ticket and maybe okay.
fine, sure. It's
Okay,
like
sure,
this
sure.
week. Yeah.
We'll
All right.
figure it
Message
out.
me.
Yeah, I will.
I'll bring you back home. You.
If I never, you guys won't ever hear from me again. I will be.
Yes.
buddy.
Yes.
I will be a statistic. Okay.
Come to the Airbnb week.
$10 for Trib
Yeah.
1. For the group, libs need you guys more than ever to spread your projects. One way to hurt leftists is for us to flood the zone. Insane that libs don't get to go to lib events anymore. Super gay W Wick. Well, we just went to one. LibCon. It's great.
I don't even know what.
Thank you for the gift membership, aka Batozai, and Card Academy Ace, W. Darius, truly the drunken master of political snarking. Keep it up. Also, Mooks had good, friendly interviews. Planning on more political content, Mooks?
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please repeat. Political content? Yes.
Yes.
I've done a little bit of talking to people on my channel so far, but yeah, I just started. I would like to do more. Trying to mingle around with people like you.
W Mooks.
Well,
Oh, watching
Mooks,
my next generation of anti-fans born right before my eyes. Oh,
Look
boy.
at him.
So proud.
Well, that's them, man. But listen,
gonna-
I got them under control. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna look at the bridge burning will be glorious. Okay, when it happens. $12 from Wolf Shacker to say $12. That's a weird amount. Thoughts on Matten Evan? He's been my guilty pleasure watch of late.
Don't know
Don't
who
know
that
what that
is.
is.
I don't know who it is. Trib 1, $5.
You know who Matan Evan is, dude? He's the guy with the fucking
Oh
accent.
no, you
He's
guys,
like,
you all know who that is.
he's
He's
like
the guy who gives the
15.
really goofy
Bill Clinton
interviews, and he's
kid,
got
yes,
like
I do know.
the yeah, he does like the in the fucking tent thing, and everyone here knows who he is.
I don't know who this guy is. I just
You
looked him
do,
up.
you do.
You do.
Don't
He's the
make me
Bill
show him,
Clinton
and then
kid,
you're
the
gonna
one
be
from the
like,
Game Awards.
I just
What do
looked
you
him
mean?
up.
Oh,
I
he
don't
went
know
on
this
stage
guy.
during the
Okay.
game thing. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shut
I
the fuck
don't know
up,
this guy.
Brady. You do know him. You've seen him before.
I just looked him
Remember
up.
the
I
guy?
He's like a
remember
heckler.
Rage baiting.
Look at his
Getting
interview with
old,
Matt
Mr.
Gates. So
Reed.
look at his. Oh no, because you're new. Never mind. Maybe
I'm
not.
new.
Fuck you.
Thank
Shut
you.
the fuck up.
$5 from Trib 1. Also, no crank yank Wick, but the reality is many people don't have the spine you have. Keep doing what you do, bro. Also, this dono is sponsored by the Jews. Well, thank you for the $5. And it's true, not everyone can
Jews.
tank like I can.
Wick,
Okay.
can you name a book you've read?
Oh shit.
The Empire of Silence.
There
Boom.
it is. Boom.
Okay. I can name the Demon in White I'm reading now. I'm doing a 50-book challenge this year.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
I'm on book
Damn.
15, 16. I'm a little behind, to be clear. But no, I've read a lot of books. This is what I do. $10 from the Trib 1. CDA cucked themselves hard, though. There won't be people like Jamie Raskin showing up to their stuff from now on unless they make this right and have Destiny as a speaker next year. LOL.
True.
W
They should
Wick.
have him.
That would that mend the bridge between you and College Dems, if they invited you to speak at one of their events, would you go, Destiny?
It would depend on the event. I have a place in the world for the type of stuff that I do. I don't want to be an attack point against the Democratic Party. So if I feel like my presence in some area is going to cause trouble for Democrats, then I wouldn't want to be involved in that way. So it just depends on the event. Like, I think this event would have been an appropriate event for me to be a speaker at because Hasan was going, right? So so you could argue that, oh, we have a diversity of viewpoints, and here's a guy who's like a crazy moderate Zionist guy, I guess, and here's a guy who's a crazy Stalinist Maoist guy, I guess, and then maybe some other types of people. Like, I think it would have worked fine. But like, if it's supposed to be like a big like unify the party moment or something, I don't know. I'm a pretty controversial character, but it just depends on the event.
Fair enough.
We'll get Steve to show up in Hugo Boss. Hasan can wear his Mao outfit, and we'll get him to debate.
Yeah, I'll get my imperialist Japan.
$5 from Barbed Wire Barracuda. Never change, Wick baby. I won't. $5 from Lawson Harrison. Remember, the bad guys are the ones that say UDGG scum. True. Well, they say die DGG scum, to be clear. Senator from West Vagina for $10. On Soy Pill. Early 20-something-year-old sock dems often spend a lot of time around further left artist hipsters, and they're under a lot of social pressure to defend DSA Hasan fan types. I don't know if that's true.
Then you grow
up. Real serious for 100 ARS. For a sec, I was imagining that scene from The Godfather with Stardust waking up to a cowhead in her bed. Nope, it wasn't mailed a cowhead. It was a picture. Finally, two more. $10 from the Skeletal Big. Speaking of Gamergate, this unhinged type of shit has been happening since at least back then. I sometimes wonder if malicious foreign agitators learned from that bit of internet history. Possible.
There are definitely amplification schemes that are helping people like Hasan 100%. Yeah. Like, obviously, stuff is botted. We see the weird subreddit shit going on. I'm curious how much of that is like by his talent agency or the people that he works with directly versus just other foreign actors. And like, it's not even like weird to say, like it's weird to not say, like how do you have like what is most obviously like a subversive, like you even admit to being part of a radicalization pipeline on the D platform, and then you take like a paid trip to Qatar, a sponsored trip to China, you get Mao's little red book, you take a paid trip to Cuba, like it's so weird. It's so weird that nobody seems to ask any questions about this.
$5 from the Chief Bin Chicken. Hasan's community is the reason for great creators such as Aristocracy stop streaming due to massive harassment. It's not stalking, it's harassment. And $10 from Marlo Kurtz. Seems like the internet is pushing further into reality lately. What can regular people do?
True. Comment and vote and show your displeasure in the comment section. The internet battlefield is the most important one. I'm only half joking there, unironically. Wait, you've seen this, right? The Reddit search, Wick?
Oh, give me a second.
Can you explain that to us, Steve? What the fuck does that mean?
So basically, I don't know, I guess people could do it or bots could do it, but basically what I'm doing is, if you type in one of these things, what it's doing is you're running a search for any time Hasan is brought up, but outside of the Destiny, Asmongold, Livestream Fail, H3H3 Productions, Hasan Piker, Leftovers H3, DGG Snark, or Fear and subreddits. So you're basically running a search to try to find Hasan being brought up anywhere on Reddit outside of like those main places. And then my guess is to brigade after that. It's to search for
no idea
mentions, and then you show up and then you support him there. But the fact that like if you open that on an incognito tab, or wait, so Wick, to understand what I'm saying, hold on. So Wick, just go to reddit.com or whatever.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, I'm there.
And then in the top bar, just search for the word Hasan.
Here, I'll do it live so you guys can see. Why not?
Sure.
Fuck it. Okay, top bar, Hasan. Oh, and there it is.
Yeah, so it's because these are so frequently searched that they just pop up. It's automatically populated in search terms because other people are searching it so often. But like, who the fuck is searching this other than it's just people trying to find Hasan mentions on Reddit without it being in like the popular Hasan-related subs so that they can find him being mentioned outside. This is why you see their fan base pop up so often to defend him in every single subreddit.
Wolf Shacker says for 710.
Was it trending on Twitter, or was it trending on Reddit when you pulled it up there?
Was it trending on Reddit? I didn't.
Yeah, when you just pulled it up.
How do I know if it's trending on Reddit?
You had a little icon next to it that looked like it might have been.
What the?
I don't use Reddit. Okay, it has a little trending icon. It does.
Nice. Bots are working overtime.
Trying to get rid of the dog shocker in the algo.
Okay. we are winding down. I love you all. Last thoughts. We'll just go around quickly from the room. Last thoughts. And tomorrow, just before I go, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're doing some MAGA versus the world. We have that Dragon Fist guy. You guys remember him? He debated Destiny on USAID. He has agreed to debate all his critics tomorrow on my show at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you have issues with what he was saying in that debate, if you have issues with him in general, show up 6 p.m. Eastern and he'll debate you. He's braver than Hasan, so you got to give him that. Okay?
True.
Okay, well, let's
wait,
start.
one more little meme. You saw this too, right? Sorry, I'm pumping you full of the DGG narrative right now.
Pump me.
Open up.
Oh, yeah. I did see this. Give me.
Share with the class.
Yeah. It's the Bobby John Dev. Since the first H3 Snark subreddit opened in 2023 of April, 11.3% of everyone active in Hasan Piker has also posted in the HC Snark subs. Leftovers, HC Snark 2025. 9,478 shared users out of 83,000. That's a large percentage, gang. That is not insignificant. 10%, 1 in 10, over that, right? Crazy stuff. It's
And
not
those
just
are
Trump.
comment posters that doesn't have people who make like a totally different account or whatever that you wouldn't catch.
Mm.
So it's like, yeah, pretty
Yep.
spooky.
And it's not just drive-by comments. 2,337 users have 10 plus posts. 655 have 50 plus. 334 have 100 plus, and 8 have 1,000 in each. And these are in each community. 1,000 in each community. 1,000 Reddit posts. Ugh.
How are
What if
you?
you can like
doing,
filter by like
Darkers.
active? If you can like filter by like the active members in each community, and like, see how much greater it probably grows.
53% are more active in the Snark subs. 38% are more active in Hasan Piker. About 9% are split evenly. I pulled every post and comment from all 4 subs, 3.7 million items. Same era comparison only. Bots and deleted excluded. Full history numbers are lower, 7.7%, because Hasan's sub predates the Snark sub by years. And here's the full data extra. And if we turn it around, that means that nearly 30% of active H3 Snark users have posted in the Hasan subreddit. And that's people actually posting and commenting, not passive subscribers padding a number. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And nobody will say anything about any of this because all of it is just silly, goofy internet memes. So no
That's not true.
actual liberal commentators give a fuck.
David Pakman cares.
True. Deepak said something.
I mean, like, he did say something. You got to give him.
He
No,
said
no. I'm sorry. He did. I'm disappointed that it's taking longer, whatever I'm saying. But no, he did. And props to him for that.
True.
We got to defend
Okay.
our boy.
Let's start with Darius. Darius, last words, final thoughts.
Good one. Next.
Cool. Radiant, what do you got?
I just want to say, I'm a Palestinian that would love to participate in politics, and I'm really upset by Hasan Piker, the very famous dog abuser, is keeping me out.
Diddy Piker, dog striker, Palestinian preventer. There we go. Okay, let's give it to Persec.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, all the people in here are great, amazing people. I had a lot of fun in DC with everybody. Yeah, Tankies, Campus, Hasan in particular, and asked Jay talk about Cherry.
Okay.
Important. That's an
Mr.
important question.
North.
Also, ask Hasan about fish.
For real, actually.
That dog was like 4 years old.
That poor
dog was
dog,
like 4
man.
years old. What happened to him? We know that he was abused. We saw the marks. We saw the bloody indents from the spike collar and everything. We saw the tail pulls.
I died early.
Okay.
Just
What do
saying.
you got, North?
Okay, yeah. Final thoughts. Look, if you're out here and you see all this shit happening and you aren't involved in like social media and shit, start getting involved. Like they say, like the battleground of ideas. I think
Get
it is like a real
involved.
thing.
Boost.
Yeah. Start
By
like
tweeting now. You can
start
do
like
it.
boosting. Yeah. Start reposting. Start tweeting your own or going on Reddit or whatever you need to do. Just get actively involved because if you don't, then these other people are going to control the narrative. So.
Okay, well, thanks for being here. Mr. Mooten.
I'm really disappointed in Cameron Landon, the vice president of the College Democrats, for not letting us in. 4 liberal people who just wanted to come and sit down peacefully and listen. Our minds are ready to be molded, and I'd like to thank all of the DGG Taliban warriors who are out there on Twitter peacefully informing people of, what's kind of going on. So shout out to the Taliban.
Peacefully and patriotically. Okay.
Taliban.
Mooks.
Yeah. I'm sad I got kicked out, or that my friends got kicked out, and then I wasn't allowed to return, because this was like the first time I've tried going out and doing something like politically active, and I just don't know how to participate. I'm trying my best, so it sucks, but I'll keep trying. So
Please do. We need more people in the space and outside of the space to step up, go to these events, volunteer, all these things. But thank you for being here. And finally, last but not least, Steven, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the participation online is important. You finally are in a world now. We've always dreamed that our participation can just be Twitter wars. Well, here you are. The war is here on Twitter, and you can participate. I'm grateful for everybody that showed up or came to this event. It was kind of weird getting pressured out of something once for no reason, and not because Darius was doing some crazy shit where you guys deserve to get kicked out of something. Yeah, hopefully we see more liberal content creators join in on this as well. We're going to provide some critical support to Deepak today. I know that in my community, there's like a lot of things that we've gotten used to because I'm such an unbelievably humble person, but it really is an ungodly amount of harassment and abuse to deal with. And although we're used to seeing crazy unhinged or people talking about why my son can be A-logged and harassed indefinitely into the future, or why it's okay to like murder my family members, or why it's okay for my docs to be posted and for me to laugh about it, for a lot of other people that participate in this stuff, that's really weird and it is terrifying. So I can't imagine. I'm sure David Pakman has fought with people on the right before who have like been weird or whatever, but I think I already kind of outed him. I'll say there was a very large CNN journalist that I spoke with. I don't know if I said this publicly. I think I did. But he told me that after his interview with me, that was the most harassment, like bar none, including all the neo-Nazi interviews and shit he'd done in the past. It was the most harassment he's ever gotten in his entire life. So I mean, like the people on the far left are out there and they're doing work and they're trying to shape and mold things behind the scenes, or now in front of the scenes. I guess you see Hasan on camera, it's fucking fit. So keep fighting. Don't feel discouraged. That's what they want. And when you see them lashing out like this and you see them being so unhinged and crazy, it's because you're getting to them. Okay.
One last question before you go.
True Americans should always be asking just what happened to Cherry. Yeah. Okay.
One last question before you go. If you could change one thing about LibCon, what would it have been?
What would it have been? I don't know. What, like
more tickets?
Yeah, more tickets.
None of us could go. Literally none of us could go.
Yeah, the only reason I was able to go is because I emailed the people and they gave me like a little code to like bypass the wait list.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
let more people stream the event. I think the coverage would have been good if you let more people stream it.
Maybe, yeah. They're trying to make it like it's supposed to be like a really professional thing.
Official,
so,
yeah.
But there's probably a way that they can better integrate. They need to figure out how to integrate that stuff in the future because you have fucking influencers streaming all the Trump shit and everything, right?
True.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think if you have just like the official streams, it's a little too boring.
Every person at the college convention thing we were at, they loved the fact that we were streaming because that was like their chance to just like basically get a free platform to just say everything they want, like show their Instagram and stuff like that.
If you want to deal with new media, you have to deal with the streamers. Yeah, you just have to.
I think Darius unironically did like more good for that event than Hasan did, because Hasan just gave his lame little speech and Darius let a lot of people use his 3,000 viewer platform to share whatever the fuck they wanted. So
for real.
Who I forgot. Fuck, goddamn.
It's okay. I gotta go. I love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Bye bye.